effective against Chronosphere, though. So
Indeed.
final pick Void into a Shadow Demon that was first phase. It seemed like they're able to answer some of the issues that VP are presenting with this Terrorblade, but I still see a couple of holes in Liquid's game plan here.
I didn't think they were going to go Void personally, because I was talking about their concern about what VIrtus.pro is going to do coming into the series. We know how VIrtus.pro plays: super fast tempo, non-stop aggression. Like you'll see no one in all 3 lanes, it feels like, in the course of 30 seconds. And Void is the same thing as Warlock in terms of this part of the game. He's going to struggle to deal with this kind of thing when he doesn't have his Chronosphere. And Beastmaster, one of my favorite offlaners for punishing Faceless Void. I think Team Liquid really has to deter this early aggression, otherwise this game could get ugly real quick. I'm going to take the VIrtus.pro lineup, though, because I think Void played into the hands of VIrtus.pro's strategy, and I think VIrtus.pro then doubled down on their strategy with the Beastmaster. So I think it's going to be a bit too fast for their...
Which is both teams drafted to what has been their strength so far here at Omega League.
Yeah, 100%. I think probably if you go late game and it's even, VP is a lot happier. It's a lot easier to execute. You have this TB hero. We've seen TB outcarry basically everything in this tournament so far. But I do think that this Liquid draft, that they can snowball really hard. Their team fight between the Warlock, Puck, Void, Storm, that's a lot of damage. I think you just need a lead in order to make it work.
Yeah, it feels like as we've gone farther and farther through Omega League, we're just getting more and more like wombo combo out of it. Like as many big AoE team fight abilities as possible, even if it does come at a cost of having those longer cooldowns, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is something you actually pointed out in a previous series. The solution to that a lot of people seem to be picking is to just pick so much of it that you are very likely to have a cooldown up at a given point. You're not necessarily going to need to use Coil. You're not necessarily going to need to use the Chronosphere. You might be able to save a couple of these abilities, and we're actually seeing Faceless Voids do that often. Oh my goodness, I can't concentrate with this block.
Welcome to the casting zone, Jenkins.
Come on. At least do the Apex Mage version.
Oh, look at who did the Apex Mage. Wow, what is the line anyway? I don't even know.
It's actually less annoying than the Bok. So
that's why they're keeping the Bok.
I think that was a huge oversight for Valve.
Yeah. To
make the final one not as annoying, because that's why people spam them, is to tilt people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to. So you're saying they should have just put like Slacks as the voice actor and just got him to like scream into the microphone? Is that what you're saying?
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be. I mean, he loves this Aghanim's Labyrinth. I feel like he's part of the lore at this point. How much he's contributed.
He really is. Honestly, Valve need to write Slacks into the lore at this point in time, because he has done so much for the lore of Dota 2, where I think very, very few people actually care. Because, you know, they're hardcore gamers. Don't give me stories. Me want action, you know? But, like, I think Slacks gets people interested in lore because of who he is.
It's something, you know? It's a niche, the lore thing. It's one of those things, like, there's stuff you can pull from for new heroes, you know? New games, but we don't talk about those.
Yes.
It's nice to have some depth, you know? It's some inspiration for new heroes.
All right, we're gonna try again here in this opening game of Team Liquid and VIrtus.pro. See Boxy having his what is very rapidly becoming a more signature puck for him. Could have picked it up twice so far in Omega League, and just like recently they've been doing this split that you have been absolutely in love with,
Big
Jenkins.
fan.
You have been in love with this newer idea that they seem to be bringing to the fore, which is basically splitting the farm between the 3 and 4 position.
It's just such a literal interpretation of what everybody has thought for a long time, which is that the position 4 is basically a core.
Oh! No! That was sick.
Oh,
well played. Solo snuck in behind the tower. The board was giving him the vision. Look at him. He's even going to like try and body block a little bit. The board's going to join him. Mickey's going to take so much damage, and he's going to miss at least one full wave of experience. I'm surprised they didn't keep going. Maybe he was a little bit afraid of support coming in, but look, here's Zayats. Now Zayats is going to be joining in the fray. Another time walk's coming up, so Mickey will finally get back the lane in a second here, but it certainly did cost him a hefty amount.
That is what you sound like.
In Zayats, it's the second wave as well. This is so well. with the boar chasing into the, like he gets the wave cut, right, and now he's going to block the camp as well. So that stun isn't just a stun. Oh, I'm gonna bully Mickey. It's like that as well as this wave cut that he was already setting up for anyway.
Yep.
Right. So
and because the support is in a position where he's like, oh, my carry's not here. I have to focusing on the CS. It means he's not there to do something about Zayat's pulling this wave, right? Normally you take a lot of damage from Warlock, who's got a great animation, who has this nice shadow word that does good damage. He just chase you the entire time.
Yeah, he'll chase you and he'll make it a pain in the ass. What this reminds me of, do you remember that clip of No Tail from, I believe it was TI9, where the title was something along the lines of like, I don't know, he did like 5 or 6 different like supporting things in a row, where like gets a kill, goes and like stacks something, kills a courier. Like it was just like a very beautiful combination of like so many things at once within a small window. Just such good efficiency that it just went viral based on the efficiency of what he was doing. That's what this reminds me of. Is just like a bunch of things happening at once where it's like that is the dream start for a game. Like that is, you've already contributed the maximum that most people will contribute as a support.
And even more impressive in a way than just because of the fact that it's multiple people pulling this off, right? It's not one person.
It's a combination,
yeah, right? It's the Beastmaster in the first place chasing him down with the boar, then giving him the vision to be able to for Solo to use that positioning to stop the TP. Zayat's cutting in, being able to grab this wave. Just goes to show that VIrtus.pro, one of the things that we talked about just before this on the panel was that like this is a team that looks like they're in really good shape right now, like in better shape than we've seen from a VIrtus.pro in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
They have been suffering ever since that big roster change up here.
For sure. And I don't want to sound like we're just hyping up because it's paused, but I mean, I've had this opinion for a while. I feel like this is not a very crazy opinion, but if you can, the amount of lanes that I've seen won before the horn, it's like, it's so many times you'll just take a bad trade and then you have to use a salve or a salve in like 2 tangos and you just lose the lane. That's like exactly what just happened. The lane is going to be quite hard for the Void to recover in most situations. Like people have recovered, but it's hard.
And that's more prevalent now, especially with the regen slowing down the courier, right?
Yes, exactly. It's such a, you need somebody to die. You need a support to run and die, but then you're feeding a kill in order to do that, which means you need to go for a kill, but you have less regen. It's you know, it's a snowball effect. Obviously, it's 51 seconds into the game, so it's not the biggest thing ever. But the earlier in the game that you're doing these effective things, the more it snowballs.
Who's the second webcam on VIrtus.pro? Because I couldn't really see, but I thought there was nobody in the chair.
It's just darkness. Darkness has enveloped one of VP's players.
Been taken over.
Yeah, they are.
One too many pubs, that's what happens to you.
It really is. Skewing on a Russia server.
Mid matchup, no one versus Koifa's Storm Spirit, Nature's Prophet, which we've been like talking about a whole lot in this event. This hero just feels kind of like it has this insane timing now at level 6. No one's having some issues. You could
wow, they're having some mega issues.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the lights were out, because the power went out and like the UPS was keeping the internet alive and the computers, but not the lights.
Is I guess all of VIrtus.pro, or like most of them, all in the boot camp?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it.
That's interesting.
Sometimes it is weird. I've definitely had situations where
it's why you're the only one not DC'd.
That happens sometimes. I don't know what it is. Sometimes for some reason, some computers just don't. They don't go out, or they come back immediately. You don't get DC'd from Dota.
And you hear from Resolution, he's not at boot camp. Oh, he's with us. Oh dear.
I think Boxy meant to type that when they were all
Next thing you know, they pull down that green screen there. You see,
there they are.
It's in the background.
There's the guy that.
Oh my God!
The lights were off because there was a green screen between them and him.
Well, Liquid seems to be having a good amount of fun with this. There they are in the Liquid boot camp, all in the same area.
It looks very, I gotta say, it looks very bland, their background, but I imagine
it's intended to be a green screen.
Yeah, it's a green screen, so you can just put some, you know.
See, apparently, Insania, I don't know if it's better lighting or better webcam,
it's
but
great lighting for him.
Yeah, look at him.
It could be the webcam. The webcam set.
Oh, okay. You can see. Okay, notice something about Insania here.
Look at the glasses.
Clean shaven. Is what I was going to say. Freshly shaved this morning. He woke up, wanted to make sure he felt his best. for this match against
You know what?
VIrtus.pro.
There's some theory behind possibly just allowing yourself to be a complete degenerate.
Okay.
Let the facial hair grow, shower, let it all fester, and then boom, all of a sudden somebody has this crazy performance. How is it possible? It's because they emotionally uplifted themselves by making their physical entity at a higher level, and it brings up the play. You know, like I'm saying you could do this intentionally, let yourself slip.
And would I happen to know the name of this person who came up with the theory?
I think it was Professor Sandbag, and it's called sandbagging.
I'm pretty sure it was you. I'm pretty sure you just wanted a reason to be a total degenerate. And you tried to make up some bullshit reason as to why you hadn't showered for 2 weeks.
No bullshit there. That's hard science. It's not soft science, it's hard science.
There's actually something in the Japanese culture, right? Where after a breakup, you cut your hair, right? Just kind of like to get away from the sadness, you know?
I thought you were going to refer to the hikikimarus, which are like the Japanese version of neats. I think that's what hikikimaru is. Hope that's not like something from hentai or something.
All right, Black, calm down here. Still waiting to see that first blood as Boxy, who's, I might have already said this, but 2-0 so far in Omega League with his puck. And instead of Sand King, which we've seen them run 4 positions Sand King with this combo, instead it's going to be Taiga playing the Tiny, which I feel like is just as good, if not better, as a hero that has split some farm.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. It's always these blink heroes that want to get an early blink where... It's like, it seems like honestly Taiga is just taking the farm priority even. It's not even like, oh, if Boxy can't lane, Taiga will take it. He just takes it either way, which is very cool. Like Puck needs less, I suppose. You just need the levels and then you can get the farm later, but Tiny can't. Like I would love to hear their reasoning on this.
You know, though, like the one thing I can think back of is that moment where I saw like Boxy when Liquid was ahead and Boxy was like really far out of position, you know? Like maybe Boxy just isn't like, maybe he's not feeling himself, or maybe he just wants to play more aggressive, but doesn't want to have the net worth position that kind of, is Mickey actually gonna die here? Good blocks there from Insania.
Big wave, man. You can just dive him here, I think.
Yeah, they're just going to keep going. Mickey, he does have a Fairy Fire and the Healing Word on him. They're going to try and turn around and kill some of the boars. Pops the Fairy Fire, kills one boar. That was a boar that was just about to die. Time Lock is up. Here comes Furion, looking to finish off Mickey. Quickly cuts through that trees and is getting out of here. He's not getting any of this CS, but hey, at least he's getting some of the experience and hasn't died yet. But boy, is his game being totally ruined, and he does not have a courier on the way. There's no regen that's about to show up. It's entirely whatever the Warlock provides. Oh, bottom lane, this is a big kill. They get it. First blood. So because Mickey and Insania managed to dodge that so well, they aren't the ones to give away first blood, and their allies get it instead.
Yeah, very nice. I think, you know, if you're Void, it sucks to not be getting that CS under tower, but that was a lot of wasted time. He even had no one who used his TP top, and then he had to walk back to mid, or he had to TP back to mid with the TP scroll. So that's a little bit of space for Koikva. I think this should be a fairly Nature's Prophet favored matchup otherwise. So much needed space for him in this lane.
Still though, VIrtus.pro doing a very good job of keeping this Faceless Void under-farmed, as he is the bottom core, because we're not include Boxy in that list, because Taiga's the real
I don't even know who you include. It's like, this is not Dota. I hate to keep talking about it so much, but I find it so fascinating. It's just such a new idea. I actually hope they win just because I want to see what their explanation is for it. All right, unbiased caster here.
You really are. Don't worry.
Let's go VP.
Insania going for the TP out. Must have already used the Burrow Strike, I'm guessing, so he's good to go. Interesting that I thought he would have gotten for the second level of Shadow Word just because they've been so pressured. But still, 2 levels of the Fatal Bonds here.
Fatal Bonds, it doesn't scale that great, but you know, if you just feel like you want more damage, then and you don't want to get close. And
yeah, this is what he did last time, right? He went 2, was it like 2-2-4 or like 4-2-4?
I think it's 2-2-2, and then you go 4 in the Fatal Bonds for damage.
Long jump in from Koifa as he makes his first rotation, picking up that level 6. There goes the Fury on ult. Everyone takes a bunch of damage, but nobody dies.
A nice haste rune rotation with Storm. I honestly feel like this Storm hero can't really rotate unless you get a rune. It just costs way too much mana, unless there's like crazy dives happening.
Insania, he was, I think he was trying to do something with that stack that was there. Koifa ran past it, and he needed to get to the mid lane, but he was pinging that hard camp a whole bunch. So I think Insania was trying to do something about that.
Come take the stack. They have a Sand King, please.
Mickey, level 5, so not too threatened by just a Sand King behind this tower, but no one, this is what all these Nature's Prophets do, man. These early rotations, they look to be able to take a fast, safe lane tower, and not much you can do to fight back when you aren't even level 6.
Man, this is so hard to stop when Nature's Prophet actually has levels. It's like he's a mid laner, he's the highest level in the game.
Yep.
Who has the levels to deal with this?
Yeah.
Nobody does enough spell damage to kill the treants. Like, it's just crazy pressure.
And he does it so quickly that there's very little downtime, right? It's not like, oh, why isn't the Storm Spirit threatening that mid tower? He would have gotten like one wave over the Nature's Prophet,
You just
right?
go back. Yeah, so you just TP back.
NP just, TP's up the top lane, takes the tower, uses a teleport scroll to go mid, and he's missed out on very little gold, very little experience.
And you know what's so strange to me? How when this Nature's Prophet hero got nerfed, I think it was the last major patch, like 7.27, maybe it was one of the latter patches, but it was a big patch. Like Nature's was in every single game. He was carry, he was offlane, he was mid, he was 5.
Yep.
Not 4, but every role, right? He was the best hero in Dota, unequivocally. And I think like his win rate went down to 41% or something on Dota 2 Pro Tracker. And I was like, how is this possible? It was just talent nerfs. It was like some talent nerfs, minor tweaks here or there, but it wasn't that big. And now it's back up again. It's like 52% or something. And I think part of the reason is it's the same thing that happened with Ember Spirit as well. When he got his series of nerfs when he was first added into the game, and basically every single patch with this hero, people get better at it. Like people know, okay, this hero has this strength where you can pressure before anybody else does. I'm literally going to sacrifice my game. I'm going to sacrifice going for an early Orchid to build these treads, to be tanky, to go and actually push these towers before any hero can deal with it. And then all of a sudden the win rate skyrockets because people are actually playing it right. And then it makes you think, what could this hero have been if people were playing it better when it was actually broken?
Yeah, for sure.
Like how ahead of the curve were these Nature's Prophet teams that were picking it and owning with it before?
Another question, though, would be is do you think the meta is any different from what he was doing very well before and what it's matched up against now? Like, for example, I feel like this patch right now is very much about this team fight.
Yes.
And then taking these objectives. And one of the things that really defeats team fights is just being one set of items ahead, right? And so if you are that faster pace hero like this Nature's Prophet who guarantees like, oh, the first Wrath of Nature, we're going to be able to win a side lane off of it, and we're going to take a tower, then all of a sudden you have that first round of items before the enemy.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I feel like that's something that a lot of our panels have said multiple times throughout this tournament is like the team that's ahead in the lane is going to crush. Like they're going to snowball. You have these draw lineups. You have these TB lineups. TB will beat any hero if he has an item advantage on them, no matter what the carry matchup is. Like this is a very common trend. So I think you're totally right that just happens to be how the heroes are currently played, and Nature's Prophet's really good at that. I also think that Nature's Prophet is a hero that lends himself really well to taking like small skirmishes and avoiding team fights, also forcing people to fight 4v5 because he has this split push power.
Yep.
And so you push somewhere, you threaten base, and then somebody TPs back, all of a sudden you can smoke, you can take a really good fight. And in the previous patch where Nature's Prophet was popular, there was a lot of these smaller engagements. It was persistent fighters. There was a lot of fighting, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't Warlocks. It wasn't Faceless Voids. It was and if it was only one of them. You know, it wasn't every single hero having some sort of group fight.
Yeah.
Now we have these
Tyrion
crazy
felt so good because he just showed up to every fight that was there. All these persistent fights, Nature's Prophet was joining every single one of them, and he was popping a BKB and a Solar Crest and right-clicking you.
But now you can take it the other direction where you can win the group fights because you can split the enemy team up. You can not group fight because you have this split push potential. You can avoid the enemy team. How many times have we seen games where it's like, oh, this team has this core farming, this team has this core farming, but also a Nature's Prophet. Like, that's just a common thread throughout all of these games with Nature's Prophet, is that there's a Morphling farming, there's a TB farming. Okay, 1v1 matchup, they're both doing okay. But the Nature's Prophet, he's getting huge as well. He's a carry. We see tons of people playing it as carry. There's very few heroes that can do that and scale like him as well. You can see like a Bat Rider doing that, right? With the travels. Does Bat scale like a Nature's Prophet can? Not really, not in the same way. Not as a 1v5 right clicker who's going to get satanic and punch your carry in the face and win a man fight with your carry. Bat Rider can't do that. But you can do the split push farming thing, which is still good, but not as scaling.
Some very, very even odds in this matchup, as you would kind of expect. I think this is... People have been watching the Omega League. I think you look at this series and say it's pretty 50-50. You know, maybe we'll be surprised and one team is just going to dominate the other. But given their performances through this tournament, I feel like teams are on pretty equal footing here.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. It's looked fairly even so far. VP had the really nice like pre-game and level ones, but after that it's looked pretty 50-50. Boxy's mid.
Yeah, what is he doing here? Look at this guy.
He's stacking. He's doing the stacking again.
Okay.
Man.
But like, so he's doing that while he is potentially ganking mid, right? If they see an opportunity, then he's going to go for it. And but during this downtime, he might as well be efficient.
Yeah, sure. And he's kind of like farming a little bit too. While Taiga, this... Oh my God, what is this? What are you doing? You're a core, Boxy. I can't get over this. I think this is so cool, but I don't get it. I want to understand. I'm not smart enough to understand this. He's supporting. Bro, you're an offlaner. What the fuck are you doing?
Taiga says, look at me, bro. Look at me, Jenkins. I'm the carry now. I've almost got a blink dagger already.
I'm so impressed by this.
And part of the reason you're so enthralled by this is that there are very few original and really big new ideas that come into Dota, right?
It's like a 20-year-old game.
Recycling some of the things that we've seen before with new little added-on twists.
He's jungling the easy camp. I did see Puppy doing this the other day. I saw Puppy doing this as a pause 4, but he wasn't a pause 3. But I saw it, like, Puppy will constantly do this, where he'll basically, if there's nothing he needs to do on the map, he just farms.
Yeah.
He'll just jungle, but he'll take enemy jungle.
Going to be able to throw out the Primal Roar. Zions can follow this up, but that stun certainly wasn't going to last long enough, and Mickey turns around and gets the 2-man Chronosphere here. They're not focusing on the same target. That is Koifa coming through to make sure to lend the helping hand. That'll kill Solo at least, but that was a heavy rotation, a Chronosphere used, all for a 5 position.
I think if you're Mickey, you're kind of cool with that just because his game has been pretty rough, so it's something. Like, that was supposed to be a gank that ended up killing him, and so he's like, all right, I gotta kill. But all this time, TB, he's just hitting up that triangle. He's farming those Ancients. That's how this hero gets so huge. You just pop meta and take Ancients faster than any other hero.
Yeah.
This hero has been broken since they put the Ancients back in the triangle. That really made the hero good. And then they, for some reason, made it so that his movement speed stays the same in meta. Thanks for that, Mr.
Yeah. So now
Ice Toad.
Just kind of runs you down. We're able to just play this very safe position up on the triangle. It's I imagine Boxy's going to be given back that bottom lane as soon as Taiga actually completes his Blink Dagger, which should be pretty soon here, especially the bounties coming in. Tranquil Boots complete on Zions. He uses his Burrow Strike to get down to the low ground, but he's going to stick around and try and take some of this experience, but they do know the ward was placed, so nicely done. Steals a level 5, but they still manage to get the ward. The initiation, there it is. Taiga with a Blink Dagger, shows himself onto Solo. They get that kill. Resolution is around here. Zions Burrow strikes through the Roshan pit to hit Mickey, but they still manage to catch up to Resolution here. They need a bash, though. They really need before the Primal Roar goes out. The Primal Roar, it finally goes down. Resolution trying to get out, but he's caught by Taiga. Once again, the Blink Dagger ensnares and gets another kill.
Did you see what Koikfa did there with the illusion? He popped the illusion rune and then he microed one, making it look like it was the main hero. So he couldn't turn around and roar Koikfa because he's like, I don't know which one of these storms is real.
Yeah.
That was super nice. And forces the roar into Mickey, which he doesn't care. He just, you know, presses his Q ability.
Right.
It's good. Very nice.
Did you just say how you've grown?
I think he does say that, yeah.
Why?
It sounds like he says that.
Must be a lore thing. Or slacks when you need it. They have the follow-up. Oh, they do. They have the Orchid already from no one, so this is a pretty easy kill.
Did they have a ward there, or is that just good? Oh, they just know he's there. Really good map awareness from VP, and nice Orchid timing from no one. He has been farming this entire time. Devastating Orchid game, too. Not a single one of these Liquid Heroes wants to get Orchided. Maybe minus Taiga. Boxy needs to be careful, man.
He's been caught.
Look at the damage.
He has Fairy Fire and Wand charges, but none of that will be enough.
I thought that was a single right click, but I realized it was the SD thing. I was like, what,
Soul Catcher.
Where did the damage come from? It's like pure damage Soul Catcher. That's what it was.
How does Soul Catcher work with Orchid? Does it? It can't possibly work as damage added to the Orchid. Right?
I think it does. I think it does.
Really?
Yeah, it's all damage that you've taken. I don't think it works like Maledict. I think it's literally just damage that you've taken after the Orchid.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's a good question, though. It's hard to find these Dota questions, you know? Once again, 20-year-old game. It's a lot of these mechanics we've talked about at some point. Not
if somebody knows for sure, be sure to let us know. I don't want your guesses. I want 100%. I tested this in a lobby, and this is how it worked.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's a very specific thing.
Sorry, I wasn't talking to you. It's just whenever I throw these questions out there, people always give me these contradictory answers. They're like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, that doesn't help me. I've already got an analyst telling me what he thinks.
It does.
I need confirmation one way or another. Resolution, he'll be caught by the rotation here from Boxy, who really needed to be a part of this kill and almost died. If he got Primal Roared, certainly if he got Primal Roared, he would be dead right now. Jeez.
Careful that Necro book there, buddy.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, look at
deny. What resolution.
So I thought Boxy was like, okay, Taiga was going to take over and be like, I got you, bro. I'll start roaming around. You sit in a lane. But no, they're actually hunting together, and maybe that's how Boxy will kind of recover some of his game. He just went from 6 to 7 off of being a part of a Beastmaster kill that was level 9, so.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Puck can get some levels, you have the coil, you can toss to break the coil, and it's good setup for the Tiny. Good follow-up for the Tiny as well. I feel like you don't need to farm. We probably would see him farming if that's all they could do, but I feel like you can run around and fight, and that's going to get you more gold and XP anyway, so why not?
The only thing that slows down a Terrorblade's farm, mana. So that's all he needs.
Yeah,
Let's give him some clarities so we can spam out even more illusions.
There's some carry players that spam ping their supports to give them clarities, such as Hector from Beast Coast.
Hector is the most efficient man in Dota 2.
I saw him spam ping an Undying who was across the map for a clarity. I will purchase clarity. He didn't even have one in his inventory. He was telling him to purchase one.
No.
Insanity.
He's done that to me. But, you know, I'm B and he's Hector, so I'm like, yes, sir. Right away. Hold on. I'll TP in and give you clarity right away. Hold on. I mean, carry me, Hector.
If you're Undying, I feel like that's the only thing that you can do.
You don't have to stay in the game anymore. Taiga tries to jump in. It looks like Zion's got away with a Burrow Strike. Turns around, Disruption, Wrath of Nature with the extra damage coming in there. This Purge certainly isn't going to be enough, but with the Orchid and the Burrow Strike, Taiga will finally go down here, but Mickey's going to be set up for a nice Chronosphere right as Koifa jumped in. That's a little awkward. Mickey hoping for the Bastions here to be able to finish off Zayats. They need a little bit more damage, and it'll come from Solo, as they did. Their fates were tied together thanks to the Fatal Bonds.
The unfortunate thing during all of this, though, is that you have the 3 cores of VP farming.
Yep.
You have Beastmaster pushing top. You have Nature's Prophet going wherever he wants because he literally has a button that he can click to teleport anywhere on the map, which is very convenient. And then you have TB, like the fastest farmer currently in the game. That's you don't really want to be duking it out with VP supports. I think you need to bring the game to the cores. Otherwise, you're just going to lose this in the late game. Okay, they're going to use meta to get the mid tower.
Yeah, Boxy's going to come up here and try and help out with this coil, but it means he's leaving this mid lane completely undefended. It does save him, though. Mickey stays alive because of that coil. Does mean Well, they're going to try and rapidly rotate back to mid, but he's already taken so much damage. Toss back on ILTW. Zion's there to bail him out, but Koifa still wants to kill. He sees it. He's got the Orchid. He's got the opportunity to bring the big man down, and he'll zip over and get the double on his Zion's as well. Still has just enough mana to work with. He's not too scared of a Nature's Prophet.
Really great Orchid timing. I was, I literally think, I feel like the game snowballs from here for VP if he doesn't get that Orchid and kill TB right there. He needed that.
Nice avalanche. Just good toss up. That's going to be able to get the kill on solo as well. VIrtus.pro, in perhaps their haste of trying to bring down that mid tower so early, gave away a number of kills.
Yeah, the Orchid reveal was a real problem there. I think that's a really good push from VP in the sense that, you know, you're pushing on multiple fronts there with Nature's Prophet and Beastmaster and Terrorblade. Like, it's a lot to deal with, right? So Boxy TP's top, which means the mid push should be free. But there's an Orchid we didn't know about. So TB, he can die because he doesn't have his Matza style yet.
I have to say, I'm surprised we don't see more of this Beastmaster hero. He's gone over the last 2 weeks. He wasn't really contested too much, and about like 10-15% of games he would be contested, picked, banned. Over the last 2 weeks, it's gone up to almost 50%. So the pickup has been more, but he's also at a 64% win rate.
That's insanely high.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he was looking pretty fine after the nerfs because like Necro does more damage to heroes now. It does less to creeps, but it does plenty of damage to heroes.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Beastmaster, like, yeah, sure, the farming was a nice part of him, but he, because of the Primal Roar, he likes the damage that comes out from the Necronomicon on heroes. Not necessarily about using it as a farming mechanism. Oh, poor Boxy, man. That is, he just gets like 4-shot by this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he's got to be so careful in this game. If he gets caught out, even remotely, he just dies instantly. I don't think he's going to get a Yule. It's going to take him a long time. He'll probably go for a Blink first, I would imagine, after his... Oh, he is going for... Okay, he's just rushing the Yules. This will keep him alive. It means that his pick-off potential is a lot less, but then again, he has a Storm and a Void, so I do think in retrospect this makes sense.
Nice burrow strike. Zayat's trying to stay ahead of this gank, and they lose the vision quite fast to jump away from Resolution. The Primal Roar is available. They're going to drop the golems here to try and save Taiga's life. Mickey, who still has that Chronosphere, is going to pop it right as he sees the epicenter coming out from Zayat's. He's going to make sure that's not going to happen. But they are dying to this Nature's Prophet. Taiga gets finished up, I believe, by the Necronomicon, and then the Nature's Prophet killed the Storm, so there's nothing left. Mickey's left on his own. No one continues to go through these supports, as now he takes on Insania as well. And the hunt continues. They're going to use Out of Coil. Jump in. There's a combo out from Taiga that does manage to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon and protects Mickey's life. But this time around, it's certainly a team fight win for VIrtus.pro.
Very nice from Zayat's like every single time, man. He's just getting the instant burrows when the Tiny is trying to initiate. Like Taiga can't do anything in this game when he's standing in front like that. Really good start to each team fight just with the whiffed initiation there. And then Koik was zipping in. He's like, who do I go on? We don't have detection. Like, I don't want to go on the Beastmaster. He's got too high of HP. Okay, the Chrono comes out. We finally kill him, but we've committed everything for that. And on the back line, no one is just killing everybody with his Orchid.
So between having a Terrorblade and a Nature's Prophet, I think both cores you're kind of expecting to be ahead. TB because of how quickly he farms, and Nature's Prophet, that's just naturally how you're supposed to operate.
How quickly he farms as well.
He's got rapid nature, he takes towers, so he should be ahead of the opposing core. Do you think 3,000 net worth, is that, should they be farther ahead? Is this about what you expect?
I think this is, I think they could be farther ahead. I'll hold that thought.
First strike into the Orchid. This is a dieback for Taiga. It's a big opportunity for VIrtus.pro, especially with the Beastmaster approaching this bottom side. They are certainly at least going to be able to get a tower, if not more kills. Pull on back, but I believe the Storm Spirit's just getting out of there and leaving Insania to die. The team quickly surrounds the tier 1 tower.
So the reason that they don't have a massive gold lead right now, instead of like a 3-4K gold lead, is because they're committing to these pushes. And so they have this advantage when it comes to map control and ability to farm all of these areas because they have more towers, right? So that's the thing here, is that they're kind of sacrificing a little bit of their gold on
Oh,
PP.
Boxy. He ran into the Nature's Prophet because he was trying to contest the bounty rune. No one TP'd into that. Now he's going to jump right into the open arms of Resolution, who's silenced for the time being, but eventually will get out this Primal Roar. And, yep.
And this is exactly the problem. You go for towers. Okay, well, I think SD is fine because no one.
Yeah, he's actually fine. No one. Nice response.
There's so much fighting. I will never finish this point. There's so much fighting in this game.
You got it. I believe in you.
Basically, you have this eventual goal that you're going to get. You have this map control, you're going to get bounties, you're going to have more camps to farm where you feel safe. You can now take over the enemy triangle because you've taken the mid tower, you've taken the bot tower. So VP, now you can see the gold lead mounting, but in the time that they've been fighting, like, they've also just been consuming the entire map and preventing Liquid from consuming any of their side of the map.
Yeah, Liquid hasn't really been hitting too many neutrals. They've mostly been just trying to get away from VIrtus.pro. They don't have safe areas to be able to farm, trying to get these bounties, and Boxy's case, failing and dying instead. And that map control may also lead to that big boy right there, Roshan, is a possibility.
That's a big boy.
It seems the lag is getting passed around. First it was the VP boot camp, now it's Zayats.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately being very angry with each other right now.
Yeah, it's I mean, you know, at this point in the tournament, it's been a long time. I feel like these teams, casters, and that's a good one. I like that. Production. Good stuff. I don't remember what I was saying. It's probably bullshit anyway.
Yeah, probably. I think there's at least a 30% chance it was bullshit.
Maybe a little bit higher, but that's pretty generous.
Yeah. We're baiting out Mickey. This is how you know a team is kind of in some trouble.
Everybody standing behind him.
Yeah, when they try and bait out a core, they're like, we're so far behind right now that they are just going to keep running at us. They're just going to keep hunting us, so let's try and lay a trap. And because it's a risky move, right? If it pays off, it looks really cool. Oh, look at that. They baited out their carry and then struck, and looks like they will manage to get a kill on a solo. If it doesn't work, though, you're 4 people stacked on top of your carry, waiting for him to hit creeps.
Yeah, the gold lead is just mounting more and more for VP while they're doing this, because nobody's farming. That's the problem here.
Hey, now they've got a Philosopher's Stone.
There you go. That'll be great for the Boxy puck, maybe. His right click's not very effective.
Yeah, I mean, are you still enthralled by this game plan of Team Liquid? Because this is what it looks like when it goes bad, right?
I mean, I still find it really. I mean, you know, they're playing against an extremely good team, so who's been playing exceptionally well. So I still find it incredibly fascinating and cool. Okay, well, that's a pickoff.
Yeah, it certainly is a very big pickoff. Zayats, yeah, he's taking too much damage. He'll get popped by the Orchid. Koifa is, I feel like he's the saving grace at this point. He's been doing a good job of, yeah, he's only died once, 7-1-3. Pretty respectable score for someone who's down 9,000 net worth.
Yeah, and we've seen today already what a Storm can do in terms of holding that high ground and potentially having a great comeback. So he is definitely looking like it could be one of those games. He's level 16, TB's level 16. I think no one is definitely a big issue. This is very similar to the NIP. You know, they had the TB and Visage, and you're thinking, okay, well, TB is going to be the biggest hero on the map, right? And then it turns out to be the mid that's just completely snowballing.
Yeah.
Like, no one has just been playing this game flawlessly. He has kept the pressure on for this entire game. He is giga fat.
In trouble. He had already used his Manta, so Mickey, it's a godlike spree being given to no one. No one is just coming into this game with some aggression, man.
He really is. He really is. And he has the items to match the aggression, too. Like, if he fed a couple of times, maybe he TPs into these fights and can potentially die, or there could be a turnaround. But he's basically taking this, like, massive net worth he has and pushing it to its absolute limits. And speaking of limits, they're actually going to go into Roshan with Void being dead, force the buyback.
For those of you guys who may have missed some of the matches of VIrtus.pro, the reason we're talking about them being so good is they lost their first series against Alliance. The very first one they came into, they lost to Alliance, but they took a game off of Nigma and before losing that series, and then beat Evil Geniuses, Na'Vi, and 5men. It's a pretty strong record. Boxy tries to go in. He actually gets the Roshan kill, so he gets something for his efforts here. Doesn't snatch the Aegis. That's picked up by ILTW.
He gets the XP, but, you know, that's...
Yeah. Hello? Furion, no one. Move the tree in, sir. We can't get past. We're stuck.
They're still pinging him. That's so funny. Kind of feels like the old playing with your food scenario here.
Yeah.
They're just enjoying a nice game of Dota on VP.
Yeah, it's that point where you're having the fun of being able to crowd like out all the prey that's out there in the field still, just before they go to, okay, this is too hard to play. We just play on our high ground now, right?
Yep,
They haven't lost their tier 2s or anything like that, so they're still going to play outside of their base, but it's coming. Soon these tier 2s are going to be knocked down, and then it's going to be, okay, how do we break Liquid's high ground?
When you were in elementary school, did you ever do the thing where everybody would be, you'd have all the kids standing around in a circle, and then they would have like oh, never mind. This is a stupid analogy anyway.
Epicenter. I liked how they saved that Orchid for the last second, but he did still have the Manta. Mickey just getting the time dilation out there before he backs away. The Golden trying to lay some damage out onto Zayt's. Koifa will pull him back in. Zayt's is still pretty tanky, though. He's going to be Orchided up, but they're committing so much just to be able to kill the Senki. He's going to be saved by the disruption. No Orchid damage is going to be placed onto him. The team was coiled up, but Zayt's has already snuck on by. This is concerning, Jenkins, when you see a team just try and pummel down a 4 position, and they can't even do that. Taiga jumping in with the Fatal Bonds. They have the Chronosphere out. A good amount of damage being laid into this Beast Man. So they finish him off. No, Zayt, who survived earlier, gets the stun onto Mickey, saves Resolution's life, and gets the kill on Mickey. As a result, they're looking to come in, still trying to finish off the Stand King. One more buyback from Taiga. Just managed to take away this Aegis. Mickey, this is all in at this point in time. Liquid, they need to be able to bring down Zayt. Finally, they do, but Boxy and the rest of the team, they're all falling apart. Mickey's getting some good damage in thanks to that upheaval, but he has to stay away from ILTW. That melee core with all of his illusions. Taiga clears him out real nice and quick. No one, he's the scary one, thanks to all that range for him. It's him and ILTW together against the world. And Mickey just time walked into it. Pops him in there, trying to finish him off. He doesn't have the time walk to be able to get away. Toss up in the air for Taiga a little bit more to finish off no one, but he's surviving the BKB. Can he do it? The disruption. Solo will bail him out. Oh, gets him at the last second, but by God, it was worth it. No one may eventually die, but it cost Liquid so many buybacks here. VIrtus.pro, they may not be able to approach that high ground, but they certainly devastated Team Liquid's economy.
I think they're happy with how that fight went. I really like the buyback there from Shadow Demon coming in at the end and just making it a little bit harder to kill no one, getting the kill on Boxy. All the buybacks from Liquid basically means on the next Lost fight, they're going to lose. I mean, it looked not bad from Liquid. I really like the initiation from Taiga there into Faceless Void Chrono with the upheaval as well. Like, the upheaval looked just absolutely insane. But ILTW with the Sunder onto the Beastmaster, making it just that much harder to kill him. In Zayt's, man, how many times did you think in that fight, he's dead? Okay, he's fine. He's dead now. Okay, yeah. He's fine. He's dead now. Come on, like, how? Come on, man, just die, for God's sakes.
And that's the net worth advantage that we're talking about, right? Like, what does Zayt have that is making him so tanky? He's top of all of the supports. He's even ahead of Boxy, but
he's got friends. That's the thing. He's got the friends. Yeah. He's got the Nature's Prophet save, who is using the Sprout. He's got the disruption from SD.
I believe they have a pipe.
I believe there's a pipe on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster, right?
If he needed to be sundered, he could get sundered, but we saw that actually used on the Beastmaster in that fight. But there's so much just slow baiting that's happening from VP, and you'd think that that would favor this Liquid lineup because they have a Warlock, which is, you know, a lot of persistent. Then on the side of VP, you have 3 heroes that are basically right-clickers, Beast, TB, and Nature's Prophet. You have a Sand King who's going to be constantly doing damage, Shadow Demon who's going to be constantly pressing his low cooldown spells. So VP actually prefers to fight into these, you know, long engagements as opposed to these short ones.
And then another thing, he's just got levels, right? Because they're winning the game, he's a higher level than most, and that's what I love about those strength supports, man. You just
tanky boy.
Tankier. The enemy team has to spill more and more resources to be able to bring you down. And we're seeing that put to great effect. It is 20-19, but VIrtus.pro, no doubt about it, they are absolutely destroying this game one with a 17,000 net worth lead. Liquid still has a chance. They haven't lost their high ground yet, and they still have very good team fight possibilities here. But it's looking very rough, especially considering that last team fight was not a win for them, and they had to throw bodies at VIrtus.pro. They used multiple buybacks.
They did. And the thing is, I think they need to burst somebody. They need to kill one guy, and then the fight will be easier. But we saw what happened when they committed to killing one guy. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
I suppose the The thing that they need to change is they need to not go for Zayats. They'd probably want to go for solo first. If they can get a core caught out of position, that would be fantastic, but that's not really how VP is playing in this game. They're not.
Yeah.
They're playing as a unit. They're putting the guys forward that need to go forward. Look at this Zayats again.
They're going to go for Zayats because he's the one that's forward here. He is going to be able to Yule Scepter off that Orchid, but he will be caught immediately as he comes down.
Okay, that's a start. That's a great start. I was thinking maybe SD was behind him or something, but I think with the bounty runes coming up, they were split to pick those up, and he was playing a little bit greedy.
Is it a good enough start to like smoke up, or do you want to focus on farming right now? What's the deal? What's the word?
I think if you're going to get anything from that, you have to smoke. You have to make a play right now. They just saw SD mid. He made some illusions.
Resolutions ahead of the other cores of Liquid.
Yeah.
And then there's a gigantic leap from Beastmaster to this Terrorblade and Nature's Prophet, who are about to both be over 20,000 net worth.
That's a blue Terrorblade. That is not the Arcana. That is just a double damage rune.
Yeah. He is sparkling with power.
Doesn't look like he's going to put it to any use, though.
Yeah. Liquid spot it.
This time.
Quickly get out. Yeah, I'm going to buy a smoke, though, from Taiga, so maybe Liquid is still looking to get aggressive and catch VIrtus.pro at some point. I mean, there is this Roshan that's coming up in a minute time, so they are going to have to come outside of their base for that, no doubt.
Do you see Solo's build? He has a hood. And
really?
Bracer, he's
Taiga
Bracer
with a nice avalanche Fatal Bonds combination. Look at that Chronosphere. Oh my god, that's pretty. A beautiful combination of abilities. Tried to get the Sunder off the last second, but it seemed like that was no doubt. That's what we're talking about. Liquid still has the right execution. They can win any team fight, and that's what it looks like right there. Just 3 heroes pumped up. Shout out to Taiga for seeing that opportunity and seeing it through.
Okay, so the solution is not to kill one guy and then take a 4v5. It's to literally kill them all at once. That is a good solution. I mean, it's very hard to pull off. But, you know, if you can do that a second time, maybe a third.
Whose courier is in the Roche pit right now? Because I don't know how quickly Liquid's team can do it. That's the Terrorblade. So Liquid aren't going to know about Roshan right away, and they probably feel like they couldn't do it fast enough anyway.
It's a decently early spawn, you know, a minute from now. But unfortunately for the timing on that amazing, beautiful team fight from Liquid, everybody's going to respawn and it's going to be a Roche fight again. The question is, like, will they have Chronosphere? It is in a minute, so they will have Chrono very quickly.
Yeah, will they be able to pull that off again? That is the question. Three heroes on top of each other for a Chronosphere with the Fatal Bombs out on them as they take all that damage.
Shoutouts to that ward in the Liquid jungle there. That definitely sealed the deal. That's what made that pretty easy.
The old high ground ward.
The classic.
Nobody expects the most obvious ward of all.
No.
I mean, but that's why they were positioned right there, right? They had that ward up on the high ground. They wanted to be able to play around it.
Yeah. Somebody made the call to defend the ward, and that was possibly the best call ever. I mean, that's really good stuff for Liquid. If that turns around the game, if that happens to be the turnaround point, then whoever made that call is a genius.
4-man smoke up, a scan here on the high grounds, checking in, seeing if Liquid's perched up here near this Roshan pit. They don't see anybody, just the illusions. Resolution. It's approaching this ward, still smoked up, but it's going to wear out very soon. They're going to go back into the Roshan pit. Liquid, do they know? Are they going to move fast enough? Can they even get there in time? All questions that we will not have to wait very long to get the answer to, because Roshan is already dead.
I wonder if TB's going to take the cheese or the Aegis. Okay, takes the Aegis, or the Aegis, just to be safe. No one takes the cheese. You could argue, like, you've seen teams not give TB the Aegis before because he dies and he doesn't have the meta when he respawns.
Yeah, transformation heroes, right? It's like these Lycans, Terrorblades, they're just not that useful with the second light.
But when that happens, I always feel like, I get the logic, but I just don't personally agree with it. I totally understand why you want to give the TB the Aegis just to be safe. It's like, this guy's going to be hitting the tower, right? You just hit without Metamorphosis. And if you die and you don't have meta, you just BKB and get out.
Yeah. Also, that like usually applies to Terrorblade, but now he's got a Scotty, right? So even in melee form, he is kind of scary.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. exactly.
After all, he's got 21,000 net worth. Ranged or melee, that is a quite.
That was a short zip.
Yeah.
He could have been punished for that.
I'm sure he was definitely clenching there.
There was some clenching going on for sure.
Hoping that Zayats wasn't about to blink on him.
Please, I hate Curry. Don't make. Not gonna go there. All right, who's this in the jungle here? Mickey, just chilling, hitting some creeps. What has he got?
A bunch of illusions running at bottom right now.
Okay, he's got his MKB. I was gonna say he needs a damage for the TB.
Yeah.
MKB is so effective because TB has so much HP, or so much effective HP due to the agility, due to the armor. But MKB just pierces through that. Obviously, it's magic damage.
LTW, see, he's gonna pop the meta. As they hit this tier 3, they want to rip through this repair kit as quick as possible. Glyph goes off last second, trying to get a little bit more heal timing here, but I don't think Liquid, they're not gonna be able to protect it, and they may not even be able to protect this bottom lane of Barracks if Virtus.pro doesn't set up some sort of opportunity. There goes the Chronosphere, does manage to latch down too, doesn't grab no one, and now he's been Burrow struck up, and Mickey, he's gonna die. He does have buyback though. They're gonna still try and fight this out. Last hold here potentially for Liquid, as Boxy trying to jump into the back line. Yule Scepter up on him. Zions making sure that Boxy's chased away, but they don't want to play too far away from ILTWs. He's taken one lane of Barracks. Time to go for a second. After all, they have no meta. We've got Aegis. Blink away real quickly from Taiga. They just got to poke at Virtus.pro. Wait for a better opportunity. They got to play off of the Storm Spirit zipping in and out. Melee Barracks going down. Orchid. Glimmer Cape, and Mickey can back away, but soon it's going to come down to straight up Megas. ILTW now in melee form. See if he can fight this out. Taiga tries to make his initiation. They do manage to get this beautiful coil onto 3 in the back line. Quaver's trying to finish off, but Veda Bond's doing a good amount of damage, but now the Orchid and Storm Spirit, he's stuck. No one beating into him, and he's down. He does have a buyback as well. Solo has already expended him, and he's on the way. Reinforcements on the way for Virtus.pro, but here comes the long zip in from Koifa off of his buyback. Tries to finish off Science, but a self-Yule Scepter saves him, goes through the Lincolns, breaks it, and gets him open for the Orchid. That no one finishes off Koifa 2 times in a row. Insania with a desperation TP out, but he will not be making it home. Don't worry, you won't be there for long, as it's looking like Liquid is just going to be cleaned up here in a 3 versus 5. Gonna try and force out that GG call as Taiga not getting away from this. That's certainly the case, and looks like ILTW got beaten down by a melee form Terrorblade. 3 heroes, no buyback. Taiga's gonna go for it, but it's him and Boxy, and neither one has the farm to stop that 5-man from Virtus.pro, claiming the Ancients. So Liquid, no doubt, just talking about what happened in this game, what they can look forward to heading into game 2.
I love that for the last, I don't know, 5 minutes of that match, we basically just saw no one standing there with the Terrorblade, just right-clicking, literally,
Yep.
Come at me, bro, come at me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't move, he wasn't afraid, he just sat there and fought. Like, it was basically 2 Terrorblades, both.
in on the late game, the other trying to end fast. Limited stuns on Liquid though.
The odds have now shifted after seeing that game 1. They were neck and neck before. Still pretty close, 1.69 to 2.09, but Liquid seemed to be kind of up to no good here. This IO now confirmed to be a support, most likely going to be laning with the Lycan, and Enigma in the off lane, 4 position for the Tiny.
It could also be Tiny Enigma supports IO core.
What is the deal with Liquid's 3 and 4 right now? I don't understand. Who is the 3? Who is the 4? They keep getting different amounts of
Got
farm.
2 3.5s, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So then who's the who's the one who's going to be sitting in the off lane?
Enigma always gets more farm no matter what position he plays. Like,
So-
if he's a 4, your 3 becomes a 4. If he's the 3, your
The way
4
that
gets
the
away.
Liquid's 3.5s are working is that someone takes over the mid lane.
Yeah.
So who do you think would be better taking over the mid lane? Would it be-
Enigma's going to stay bottom almost
Okay.
certainly. I think he operates best that way. He doesn't want to be defending his own tower. The mid tower is usually much more in a threat than your own offlane tower.
Right.
So you're going to get dove. Enigma's the type of hero that just gets dove because he naturally pulls the lane back by converting his own creep. What I was just going to say is I think Team Liquid's going to suffer similar things that they did the first game. And if I look
it over to our casters.
That's right. What happens when Liquid turns a snowball into an avalanche? Can a polar bear survive in that, Jenkins?
I think when Liquid turns into a snowball, it's ice.
That is a good point. And do you think a polar bear could survive through an avalanche of ice?
Boy, I think they'd be pretty used to that by now.
Could be, yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. As Liquid do indeed, they've got a funky lineup. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know quite how to feel about it. It's not. I don't feel very confident. It could be really good. It could be really bad.
A lot of pressure on this Enigma, I think, to win every single team fight, basically, against these VP heroes. I mean, it's hard. You have the egg, you have the chronosphere. There's plenty of backline jump to stop his hole. But, you know, if this hero gets a lead and you can hit a good enough black hole, get enough heroes in it, you can win basically any fight. I mean, this is the only source of team fight that Liquid really have, is the Enigma.
Yeah, the rest of it is a lot of fast play, right? There's this, like, pushing power of the Lycan. Zayat's looking to be body blocked up a whole lot. They actually get the bounty rune as well. Zayat's is just out to try and survive, but he's not going to. Boxy picks up the first blood, and he's already set in a potentially better position than he was last game.
He starts with the boots. He's just straight roaming. Taiga's just off-lane Enigma this game. What did he start with? Basilius? Okay, that's interesting. You know, I've wondered what an Enigma in the current patch would go. You don't see this hero play too much as an offlaner or just in general, so it'll be cool to see what he theory crafts the build is. I was thinking maybe he'd build this into a Veil because it does work with that pure damage, but I think the Bassi is just like the most efficient mana of regen that you can get in Dota currently. You know, the Sage's Masks, they did get nerfed. Everybody was spamming those, having like 2 Sage's Masks casually, and they got nerfed, but the upgraded items still have the same mana regen that they had before. So if you upgrade, it's still good.
My question is, do you think that that Boxy is not going to be bottom? Do you think, like, are they going to be playing Taiga in the lane, or are they going to be playing Taiga where he's just, you know, taking away lane creep every single time, then going farming up the triangle, or the hard camp, I guess I should say?
I think you can do that. I think Boxy starting with these boots, like you could possibly put a little bit of pressure on this Phoenix, who is notoriously terrible
At level 1.
And just give Taiga like the solo XP bot because he's going to bring the lane back. But then Boxy would farm this game too would be really nice. I mean, this Void Spirit hero, he complements everything so well. If there's something going on, he will make it better because he just has disables, he has mobility, he has BKB piercing slows, BKB piercing damage. Like, this hero does literally everything. So if he can get some farm, and he's also like the best jump hero in the game. If he can get some farm, I think it's going to be really good in this game.
His if he could get all the way to an Aghanim Scepter, it's very impactful here against this VP lineup. But even just having the first item, Eul's Scepter, it would be really important for his own survival against a potential Orchid on the Queen of Pain. We have the time dilation of the Void.
Yeah, that's
a lot of big problems.
Yep, for sure. If he can jump one of these Phoenix, Void, whoever, one of these like big team fight heroes, I think that's how Liquid can win team fights, with having inferior team fight ability, basically.
Yeah.
Once again, if Taiga is hitting like really sick black holes, then it's very different. If he's got a big gold lead and he can, you know, play with the Blink Dagger and BKB, it's very different. But it's going to take a pretty good early game for him.
But on the VIrtus.pro side, right, like it just feels like their lineup naturally clicks. I mean, we've got all the team fight combinations that we've been talking about before, right? We were going to have the Phoenix Egg with the Chronosphere protecting it. We've got this very fast pace, like tempo hero in the mid lane for no one, playing Queen of Pain rather than the Furion this time. Less pushing power, but it just is this natural buildup of team fight in late game.
Yeah, 100%. Just as fast as that hero. I love seeing him on heroes like this. Just take control of the entire game. That is exactly what he does best. Basically destroying the enemy team in terms of kills and pressure on the map, but also taking farm along the way. I think that's where he does the best. I don't like seeing him on, some SF where he's just jungling and treads, drums. That's BKB, that sort of thing. Like, I love the Yule's blink if he were to go for SF. Like, I'd love to see him doing this like high skill stuff.
Yeah.
This is where he does best, and no one is just one of the best laners in the game.
Yeah,
like
it complements each other, right? When you're a really flashy, aggressive player and you're really sick at laning, you get yourself the advantage off the laning phase, and then you just naturally snowball it with big moves.
Yeah, some players do sick laning, and then they just go jungle, and that can work as well if you have some other lanes if you have some other cores that like to roam around and do things. But I think the mid lane right now, just the way it's played, really lends itself to doing both of those things, which I think is why we see VP doing so damn well. It's funny their webcams don't turn back on when they're reconnecting.
Yeah, might have been just so many times of, maybe restarting the PC or restarting the router or figure something out that you forget about it.
This is cool. I think this is good. Playing with the Void Spirit.
Yeah.
And just doing this combo kind of like OG where they have the support and then the Wisp is a core, except you're just combining the two supports here and zoning out this level 1 Phoenix. So Zayats, he goes for the creep pull. This is what you have to do.
You see, even Mickey was thinking about making a move over, see if he can try and help catch Zayats here. The Aether Remnant does manage to pull him back in. Zayats, Insania trying to get in front of him a little bit. He's going to go for the kickback. He's only pulling half of the creep wave here, so this is not too bad. And it's for Liquid, it's going to be even better for Liquid if they can actually get this kill. It's going to be up to Boxy, though. Zayats, is he actually just suiciding right now? I thought he was maybe going to suicide to the tier 2. No, he's going to cut up, but that's where the Aether Remnant is going to catch him again. And this early tri-lane is beginning to pay off. It did give Resolution
I was going to say,
get level 2, though.
I feel like this is great for VP. This puts Resolution solo against a Mickey Tiny. Like that, Phoenix is fine with that. You're just sitting there and getting XP against a tri-lane. That's not supposed to happen. But Liquid has to chase the Earth Spirit, otherwise he cuts that wave. I think that's an amazing play from VP there, just to do that and waste so much time. If he dies immediately, it's different, but... Yeah,
the way he pulled the creep wave, some of those creeps back now just means a big wave is going to be pushing into the Phoenix again, and they're just going to get some levels, and here's a bit smiley from Resolution. And
Phoenix got level 2 because he only pulled half. I was sitting there thinking, like, why the heck is he pulling half the wave? Because Phoenix probably got denied on the first wave because of the tri-lane. If he has 2 creeps, he's level 2. Now all of a sudden it's way harder to tri-lane against him.
Yeah, I think he actually got 2 different creeps denied at least, because he barely had level 2 with a wave and another 2 creeps.
Oh, we can actually see. So six creeps from Mickey's. I would imagine that he probably got a deny or a couple denies on the first wave, considering it was way freer than these ones. Yeah, super well played by VP so far. They know their early game, man. Like, they really know how to get the most out of, like, the 1 to 2 minute mark, which...
And that was always VIrtus.pro to a T, right? Snowball lanes, win game.
Yeah, that is literally... Yeah, that's what they did when they were in their prime, with most of this same roster.
Yeah, so I have to wonder if that's something about the leadership of Solo, that he tries to really focus on those things, hammer them home, or if he's the one perhaps bringing them to light.
I mean, he is the only guy that's picking SD. Like, this hero's not really picked that much. It's just the occasional, like, A or B tier pick for...
Yeah, like, oh, Luna got picked up. I got Shadow Demon's good here.
Terrorblade got picked up. I'm going to pick Shadow Demon. But he's just like, no, this is a good hero. And I think that hero lends itself to doing extremely well in the lanes. Like, the Shadow Poison, extremely powerful against certain heroes. The Disruption, powerful against other heroes.
Pull back here on the Phoenix, and they do manage to burst him down before he could get the dive away. Very important kill, because as you said, he was getting those levels that he wanted to get. Taiga, he calls in some reinforcements from Boxy, so they get that 1 kill. Say, okay, we're going to stop tri-laning here. We kind of did what we came to do. And Boxy will join Taiga in the duo once again.
Boxy's got the Orb of Venom, so he can slow him down. But
oh my God! What was that RNG? Like, you know, he might have died anyway, but seriously, what was that?
Level 2. Man, I don't know. Sometimes Void just looks like... Faces Void can look like a bullshit hero. Like, that makes him look... That makes the hero look like he's great at laning. He's really not the strongest laner.
Sorry, I just thought this was cool. So Lycan's like a Dragonite, right? If you're opposed against a hero that wants to move around the map, you're threatening his tower. So maybe this Quap won't want to move around so much. But Lycan's even cooler because he throws a wolf to each one of the power runes. Might be able to deny the rune as a result.
Yeah, very nice. Do similar thing on Broodmother, deny those runes.
Yeah. Taiga, quickly surrounded here. He's going to get a decent amount of damage on ILTW. They eat the Remnant. It misses on both of them, too. So they don't manage to get that counter kill. 2-3 now. And it's Virtus.pro picking up some kills in this bottom lane. Have a nice little stack here.
Yeah, the SD's really nice setup for the Enigma. I mean, the hero literally just walks away from you, right? So
yeah,
getting the Void right on top of him and the illusions to body block, there's not really much Enigma can do. He can't just like leap away. He doesn't have a blink. Doesn't have an AoE disable, anything like that. You surround him by units like that, and there's not much he can do.
What I find a little bit awkward here is we're going to watch Boxy miss out on a bounty room because of that disruption. At least he got the one that he was on top of, but obviously the other one, Solo will collect. The, damn, what was the point I was going to make? Oh, he kind of has to get BKB because of Earth Spirit, right? It's just such an easy way to, like, just throw the boulder down and silence him.
100%. Right? There's no other choice, really. Or, I mean, you can go for the Aura build. That, But then I feel like you might lack teamfight. You're really banking on snowballing the towers, which can happen. I mean, they do have a Lycan. They do have a Lycan with a tiny safe lane, so they can definitely snowball. But it takes
still gets him with the disruption. That's probably going to be a dead IO. Mickey will try and protect his support as best as possible with the Avalanche. It catches Resolution mid-flight there, so that was perfect. It actually does save him. If anything, they're going to get the kill onto Solo with that nice tossback. Insania helps him out with the damage, and they get the kill. Nice response from the Liquid duo here in the top lane. They're going to maybe get a second one here on the Zions as well, who doesn't have to roll up fast enough to get away. A second kill. Now toss forward. Resolution doesn't have the dive. They're going to try and put Boxy right on top with the Avalanche as well. What a big turnaround. That was supposed to be a simple kill onto the IO, and it turns against Virtus.pro. They lose 3.
Man, I mean, speaking of snowballing, this is exactly how they want to start out in this game with these two extremely fast cores in the Lycan and the Tiny. I mean, Enigma's really their late game hero in this game. So if you can snowball these two cores, make space for your Enigma, I think this game's looking great for them. Liquid's, they're looking good in this one. The odds were a bit different, by the way. They a little bit more in favor of VP, but
yeah, people are. We saw that performance by Virtus.pro. It was very convincing.
After the start, though, I don't know if I would agree with those. He has the hole. I just have mana for it.
Yeah, just trying to get some damage in. May still be able to run him down thanks to the help of that wolf. He disruptions himself to try and buy a little bit of time, and the Chronosphere actually catches most of the Eidolons there and stops the damage that would have finished off Solo. It did cost them the Chronosphere, but if they can get this second kill, it'd be nice, but can't stick onto him.
If they give Enigma any sort of extra regen or base int, I think he's going to be a good hero. Like, this is Enigma's biggest problem, is you use one spell and you can't use Hole. You need mana boots. Yeah. Like, this hero does not function without mana boots. And that is a really scary requirement to have in your hero.
Here's what we were talking about. As soon as the Queen of Pain leaves lane, Koifa immediately threatening the tower with the early Necronomicon pickup because you can do that as a Lycan. Now he's going to try and kill Solo here. The disruption was used after all. This is a freebie, and you can go back to hitting that mid tower. They still have in the top lane this Queen of Pain trying to go for these kills. As he loses his mid tower, he has to get these kills. And he does manage to get Mickey at least. Insania, less important, but probably just as likely to go down here as he has no tether escapes really. Back in the lane he goes, but I'll just take out bottom lane. There's the black hole, and they do manage to get that faceless void. Boxy still trying to help him get out of this sticky situations. The Eidolons are taking up the towers. Here comes the Phoenix. He's TPing in. Can he get there in time? He's not actually going to go for the Enigma. I think maybe he could have dove. It would have been a close call, but he's not able to catch either one as a result. In fact, Boxy, he's going to turn around, see if he can kill Zions. They're going to go for it. Dissimulate. It hits him. He reads it correctly. He reads where Zions is going to be headed, hits him with a Dissimulate, finishes him off. He may die here as the Soul Catcher with the burn damage is coming in. Disruption, Boxy, can he help him out? Malphus, here comes the heals from Insania. The Soul Catcher's going to wear out. He gets a little bonus of HP, and now Boxy turns on a Solo. Another TP coming in from Zions. All of these, Boxy, he has Dissimulate. He goes down to low ground. Oh, he doesn't actually go down to the river. That's where no one was going to be, but he does head into Zions, who stops that TP pretty quick.
I get why he went that way. No one was coming in.
I think Taiga TP'd. Oh, he didn't TP.
He needs to TP. He needs to get out.
Okay, he's good.
Picked the right place to juke too. Boxy, unfortunately, didn't, just a bit of RNG there. Taiga gets out, and, really he's the core in this game. Anytime there's an Enigma in a game, he's the late game carry. This hero can 1v5 if he gets a good enough hole.
Yeah. You want another insane stat here, Janky?
Yeah, hit me with that stat.
This Tiny contest rate 80% in this tournament. That's pretty insane, right?
I think that's fair. I mean,
so you would expect a hero that's so popular, picked and banned, right, that it would have a acceptable win rate.
You would think so.
You're gonna watch him dying to the Supernova. He's very, very dead. 62% win rate.
Yeah, that's quite high.
Yeah, that's very high.
That's very high. I thought it was going to go the other way.
No.
We can see here why he's got such a high win rate. Look at the damage this little guy does.
So what I was leading into is most of the time we've been seeing this as support. Sometimes we'll see mid or something.
That is correct. Like, mostly 4.
What do you think about this safe lane, the Tiny IO combination? Like, do you think it's as potent as it used to be?
I think this works because you have a Lycan mid and you have an Enigma off lane. You have these 2 heroes that are, Lycan's a carry. Enigma is the carry. So you're basically playing like a mid or an off lane Tiny in this game. Even though
just with a little extra net worth, a little bit of a bonus.
A little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
And we can see that Liquid, they really like experimenting with these like net worth distribution ideas.
Yeah.
Which, once again, I find so interesting. There's not many teams that do this. Boxy basically playing 4 position. You have IO, who's always a 4.5. Like in mid, this is a carry. Tiny, this is a mid hero.
Here comes the big smoke gank. They are bringing all their heroes here to this lane. Boxy's going to try and stop the TP in here for the Queen of Pain to do too a lot, but with the Chronosphere, they're going to make sure Koifa does die. He quickly kills the courier here. Is he still going to get out, though, Boxy? Zayat's going to roll in. It's close, but he's just a little bit shy and a little bit too late.
That's a big kill for them to pick up, particularly because it defends this bottom tower. I mean, Mickey's still farming. This is not the old Tiny IO where he's going to carry in the late game by any means, but he's still going for an Echo Saber. He's still probably going to pick up an Aghanim Scepter. He's still at core you have to worry about, at least to some degree, if you're letting him free farm. But with that being said, you defend that bot tower, and of course, you have free farming cores too. Spirit Vessel Queen of Pain.
Yeah,
Very
I was going to ask you about that.
It's been a while since I've seen this build. I used to love this build on offlane Quap.
Yeah.
The damage between the dagger and the vessel is enough to basically take any hero from full to 0 with 2 vessel charges. You just stay on them with your constant blinks, your constant daggers that have obviously a way lower cooldown than duration, and they die. No matter what, you'll kill somebody. You have enough damage.
Still has the dive up, so unless they can get this Tiny on top of him, which they do for a second. Avalanche, toss forward. Boxy's going to go in. He does manage to pop the Supernova, and they got one of the Fire Spirits out, so they're going to retreat. No one's going to try and punish them here, and Zany is a little bit low. They do still have that Sonic Wave, so if no one positions himself accordingly. The toss back, though, into Taiga, into the black hole. There's Resolution trying to lay the damage out to get some sort of counter kill, but he has to skedaddle. He has to jump away. Insania does get burned out, it looks like, from the dagger, and Boxy, he goes down to Zayat, so they actually get a decent response from Virtus.pro, even though we just watched the Queen of Pain die.
Yeah, but if you're Liquid, you get the tower, so I think that's the more primary concern for them. Is this frees up this bot area for Enigma to farm it? It's so annoying having a Summons hero down here. We saw this with Beastmaster in the last game.
Careful solo of all those Eidolons. They do a lot of damage. He's going to go for the TP out, and he will just make it. Solo, let's see if he survives through the Eidolons. He will not survive to Boxy. That is the real killer right there. Now they're going to relocate in. Resolution. He dove out, and he's got Tranquil Boots. That'll help him get some distance, but not far enough, it seems. Toss up in the air, and another Ether Remnant for the catch. Boxy doing a really nice job on this 4 position. Back into the top lane they go, though. Insania pulled Mickey in here. They wanted to still be able to fight it out. tossed up. ILTW quickly time walks off the damage. Mickey looks to be able to stick on top of him with the avalanche now. The Chronosphere is coming up in a second, so Mickey, he's got to be careful, especially with no one closing in. The Lycan, he spotted all this with the Wolves, and he's going to pop his ultimate here. Science has committed his roll in, and immediately the rest of VIrtus.pro's like, nope, that's a level 12 Lycan with the Necro 3, boys. It's time to leave. It's time to get out. It's time to TP away. No one. He makes it out. Time walk over to the other side of the cliff. Looks like ILTW. He knows the danger that is present when the big bad wolf is out.
Yeah, really all they have to deal with him is the Chronosphere, and if you're gonna chrono a Lycan, you better be sure that you have some damage near you.
Yeah.
Like you can't just chrono to save. If you chrono to save, then Liquid just takes a tower because you don't have Chronosphere. Because once again, it's the only option versus the Lycan. So you basically kind of just have to sacrifice your supports there, or your support, and then have the Queen of Pain TP out. If there's any sort of disable, we have seen how quickly Lycan shreds a Queen of Pain, especially with these new Necro units doing hero damage.
Yeah.
So they do a lot more damage to heroes, but less to creeps and less to towers.
I feel like Lycan's another one of those heroes that doesn't care super much about that change, just because very likely he'll take that tower anyway, even with the loss of damage on buildings.
Yeah, I mean, he hits heroes with the creeps as well, so.
They're going to try and deal with the supernova really quickly, turn around and kill it. The Sonic Wave goes out. It takes away Insania. Mickey is on the run here. He's got some heroes around him. Boxy's going to make his entrance. Does a decent amount of AoE damage with the buyback coming in from the IO to help bail out Mickey, but it's too much. The Chronosphere, he's beaten down before Insania can give him the helping hand in the heals. Insania, is this going to be a dieback? The roll in from the Earth Spirit. ILTW is able to stick on him. Double kill there from Zayats, but he will die underneath this tier 2 tower. The bigger thing is we had ILTW get out, TP back to mid, and continue to farm.
Yeah, ILTW has a lot of weight on his shoulders this game. He is the primary hero that is going to be dealing with this Enigma. He's the primary hero that can actually deal with the Lycan. You could argue even the IO. You do the Earth Spirit for the backline jump. You do the Queen of Pain Vessel. That is definitely an option. I really like how VP has itemized, but there's a lot of pressure on him given that he's the highest net worth too. It's like he's got to not die. If he dies one time, I think the game is going to look. It's such a solo thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Solo is such a fun 5 position to watch. Remember when VP was super dominant, he was playing this Disruptor, and like a level 3 Disruptor would show up to the offlane ganking, and you're just like, what? What's happening?
He does not participate in what is like standard Dota. That guy does not play the same game that we all play.
LPW, they know he's here. They're going to be able to hit him with the Remnant. Nice position there from Boxy. Opens it up. Hits the initiation that's required for the follow-up there. Taiga gets the black hole. Zayats looks like he didn't have a removal, and he kind of panicked there and decided, well, I'll roll into the black hole. That doesn't work, though. No one's going to be chased down by the Lycan. Zayats is still in trouble, and the side tossed over to Solo, so they're just focusing on getting as many kills as possible. Nice shot by Zayats, though, as he does manage to kill Taiga. Still, though, it's a loss. Team fight for VIrtus.pro. 4 dead, and they're going to be losing this tier 1 top.
This is kind of similar to what happened with VP in the last game, where there's just so much net worth and so many problems that they have in terms of the cores on the Liquid side that, sure, you can commit everything to kill Taiga on Enigma, but then there's a Lycan that's running rampant. There's a Lycan that's going to kill your Queen of Pain. There's still a Tiny with a Wisp behind him who's got an Echo Saber.
So you're referencing this is the same problem that Liquid had last game, where they were trying to target Zayats and he was too tanky for them.
Right. It's a mirror, and so maybe they go with the Liquid solution. They try to hit a big chrono. Okay, misses the Ether Remnant.
Well, they won't have that chrono for another 10 seconds.
Still playing very aggressive.
Just trying to get in there. Looks like they want to take this safe lane tower while there is big cooldowns, right? No relocate, no transformation, no black hole. And maybe a kill on the Boxy here, but it's a little hard to catch up with that. And now Rezo, gets off the Supernova, trusting his team to be able to protect him here, but they're not going to be able to. The Chronosphere, it comes too late. It was going to be so pretty. They're still managing to kill Insania, though, but it looks like Boxy's going to man up and see if he can kill Solo. Solo had tons of stacks on him, though. A bunch of magic wand charges, but Boxy's still going to be able to catch up to him, trying to jump away with the Dissimulate. Still has an Ether Remnant that manages to catch this Faceless Void, but he jumps right into Boxy here. No bashes just yet. Boxy, Astral Step. He's got another Ether Remnant. He's got his Yule Scepter. He can Yule Scepter the Void. Astral Step in another 2 seconds, and yeah, they're gonna give up on this Jace. They can't catch him. Boxy, that was some big boy play right there. Nice juke.
Those were very nice jukes. Somebody should clip that. That was very nice.
I'm really impressed how he keeps on hitting these Ether Remnants right next to creeps.
Yeah, no, he's like, he's putting them at really interesting angles.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly very practiced on this Void Spirit here. Like, Boxy's got to be a Void spammer. Which is funny, because you see him playing so much Puck. You'd think it's the only hero he can play, but he's destroying this game.
Mickey finds solo here. And with that kind of pick off, they're going to feel good maybe about going for one of these tier 2s nice and early. Kill onto no one, and yeah, this is free whatever you want. You want to take the tier 2? You want to go for Roshan? The world is your oyster right now if you're Liquid. With 11,000 net worth lead as we hit the 20-minute marker.
And you know that this game, they have so much tower push. We've seen games where teams take this snowball advantage and then they don't have a way of actually taking advantage of it with towers, but
you've got 3 pushing cores on the side of Liquid, so they certainly don't have that problem. They built up a net worth lead, and they're going to take a tier 3 super early. Pull back onto solo, he's dead again. Boxy, he's just an executioner in the server right now. He gets in there, chops the heads off of any support he finds, and gets out nice and clean. Mickey, slow down here. They managed to take down this melee barracks. They have to relocate up, so if he's really in trouble, Insania can bail him out. And VIrtus.pro, they're gonna have to watch as Liquid walk away with that, the remnants of the melee barracks still crumbled next to them.
Yeah, this was so nice.
Yeah, look at that.
That remnant alone. Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna show the remnant alone is like an amazing play.
Yeah.
So many creeps chasing you, which arguably, like, you want that to be happening in that situation because it makes it hard to keep chasing because they get in your way. They body block you, right?
Yep.
So as long as he can hit that remnant and high skill it, the creeps, you'd prefer them to be there. If he didn't hit that remnant, the creeps get you killed.
Yeah. What a pickup here on the Queen of Pain. This early Yule Scepter from Boxy doing some work here. The Aghanim Scepter. Oh, it almost got him. The Wolves. The Wolves. They're going to track down no one. They managed to get the kill while the relocate happens around the Supernova. And Taiga, he sees his opportunity. He hits the 2-man black hole. They've caught the Void. GG. And now VIrtus.pro, they're out. Jesus. That happened in a hurry. All of a sudden, Liquid have tied up this series. We started off this game too, Jenkins, asking ourselves if VIrtus.pro were just going to continue the train that happened in game 1, but no. That train's going in the other direction now. Our series is all tied up, and we're going to have ourselves a game 3.
What a stomp. I gotta say, I mean, this is Liquid, so I can't say that I didn't expect that they were able to pull out something that looked completely different.
A Liquid Leshrac. You just don't see this very often.
They are not sweating at all. Instant pick that Lone Druid, instant pick the Leshrac. You like Leshrac quite a bit, don't you?
I mean, look, this is my favorite hero in Dota. It's not ideal at the moment because there's just no methods of self-sustain, but he has received a couple of buffs in terms of the damage output. The Nova is much easier to skill up the second and third points of ulti now. Odds are very even, but I'm loving Team Liquid. My entire concept of Dota and pressure and the way you want to win in mid game is Liquid's draft, and I think that if they can get tier 1s early, they can just run over this one.
My concern for VIrtus.pro's last pick, I thought of Earthshaker as a potential combination, but it's just so slow. And they have a Morph mid, they have an Ember safe lane. Like, yeah, these heroes ramp up pretty quickly, but I honestly don't know if it's going to be in time for how quickly Team Liquid Leshrac Lone Druid duo core. I think this is Team Liquid in a nutshell. Like this is their bread and butter, and
we will find out. I love the theory crafting, but I need to see. I'm a visual learner, okay, not this tactile kinesthetic business. Let's find out which team will be able to proceed forward in this immortal bracket, and which team will fall down in elimination as we find out in this game number 3.
Ah, you're a visual learner, huh? Well, you won't get much better visuals than this. Yeah. Soak it in. We're about to head to game 3. Virtus.pro versus Team Liquid. And the panel said it's about to get weird. It's about to get funky, Jenkins.
Love the Leshrac.
Love the
Yes,
Leshrac. That's what
it's
Kyle
safe
said.
lane. It is safe lane.
Yeah.
Can you confirm that's what I said to you just before we went live on
Absolutely.
air? Okay.
Jenkins 100% was saying it's going to be safe lane. Safe lane Leshrac, mid lone Druid, and then they're going to be doing that Boxy Taiga duo again at bottom. That's what he said.
So, okay, getting Boxy, the same hero, just put him on something he was very clearly comfortable with, something that I also think Void Spirit's going to do kind of fine in any game. I mean, I don't see, you know, he just runs around, has got stuns, mobility, like, it's not really a hero that gets countered, even in a lane situation.
Boxy missed the ward. He dropped a sentry, thought he was going to get the ward. That's why they're tipping him right now. No one saw it. He's like, I know you were going for my ward.
GG.
Not on that side, you fool. Okay, okay. Stopped him from body blocking the mid wave. And that is something that is probably really important in this matchup, I would
gotta
imagine.
say, dude,
yeah?
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty damn
Solo
cool.
God. Even Insania, he's like, I got to take a moment to give props for that play.
Yeah, that's not... Oh, man. Both of these teams, they've just been innovating in this series.
Yeah.
It is so cool to see stuff like that. You do that in your pub, and you're going to probably get reported.
Yeah.
Knowing the
just
matchup.
blame you for having disruption level 1. Why is he in my mid lane?
Man, this is such a difficult lane for Darks here. You have the Oracle Purge and then a ranged hero who's good at clearing the wave. Oh, he misses
God,
it
he
again.
missed it again. Why?
The debate because the tree's down.
cut down.
So he thinks that it was there.
Oh.
With the Quelling Blade.
Dude, I only wish
here.
Virtus.pro knew that just happened.
That's a
Set it
lot
up.
of time.
Fisher, that's going to be able to block out the Oracle here. And Zayats will no doubt live, but he takes a lot of damage in the process as they try and stop all that pulling. Look, Boxy even going for the denies. Insania grabs it. They get the second one as well. Can they get the 3? Oh, missed it. Last one easily picked up by Resolution.
Boxy doesn't want to go for that one because it's right under the tower. There's a potential to get fissured in. Very risky. Going for the cheeky plays when he can. And all this time, Aiga's just free farming bot. I mean, Enigma doesn't really need help. You just pull the lane back and you do kind of fine no matter what. He's not going to own, but he'll do fine.
He'll do all right. Fisher lands on the 2 of them. Zayats is pretty low. Boxy is not going to do enough to finish them. They take a lot of tower shots trying to get that kill. That is the ever-coveted first blood. That's why they're willing to take those kind of risks to get it. That extra net worth is quite helpful. What about this mid lane matchup? I mean, this is classic Team Liquid. Yes, mid Koifa, important hero in the lone Druid. But just because something is your wheelhouse, something that is unique, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win with it, right, Jenkins?
No, I honestly feel like you probably want to leave this lane at some point and go jungle or go push a side lane tower, maybe like at 5 minutes in, and let Boxy have the lane, because this is not a lone Druid favorite matchup. It is for the first couple of waves, but we saw the play that Solo made. That's why he made the play, making sure that he couldn't body block. It gave Morphling his level 2, level 3 on his hill, and now he just stat morphs and hits the bear.
Yeah.
The way you beat Lone Druid is not by hitting the hero, it's by hitting the bear, and Morphling is perfectly fine at doing that with the high base damage that he has.
Yeah, he is top CS, able to trade very efficiently when he does get hit because, oh, look at that, he's 400 health. Look how effective that tango is. It's a little silly. They do have the bottle on the Morphling as well, so he's going to make even more efficient usage out of that. Ooh, look at the hard camp farming there. It's a good thing that Boxy didn't run up there for Virtus.pro, otherwise they would have seen what was happening. Fisher, just to protect him, he does get chain stun. The Aether Remnant's going to be able to pull him back, and that will be a kill. First blood for Mikke.
Man, once again, Boxy with the really nice placement of these Ether Remnants. Like, he really uses these angles to his advantage. A lot of people just kind of throw it directly from them. They don't use, like, the vector targeting that well. But Boxy knows this hero.
Yeah, and I think the really nice thing there was that he made sure he got like max duration stun, right? He made sure not to combo it up too heavily or overlap stuns with the split earth.
Yeah, Darkseer very tanky, also can just surge himself out, so yeah, you definitely have to make that play on him like that.
4-minute power runes, all important because we talked about the Morphling's going to make good use of those charges. Well, if he doesn't get a refill on a bottle, Quaitha has a better chance at being able to win this lane, though he is pretty far behind in CS right now, 18-0 to 28-7 on no one.
It's got to be pretty frustrating that a Morphling wins the matchup so hard that he can be at 20% HP and waveform on to the Lone Druid. Oh, they're not even going to go for him. They're just... It's crazy Taiga's just totally alone down here, but perfectly fine because... I mean, Ember, SD, they don't really put that much pressure on. They're just kind of like slow harass heroes. They're not kill heroes. And Enigma's like, okay, well, I'll just chill and pull the way back and then farm under my tower.
It's double damage, Boxy. Hoping to do some work with it, but is chased away by the two heroes. He's going to see this hard camp that was being farmed, stacked up, and then farmed with ion shells.
He tried to go for the steal there, leveling up the nuke on Void Spirit, but... Zayats uses the...
Oh, he grabbed the bounty rune before Boxy was able to get the disable. Still, though, they're completely zoned down a lane, and they won't be able to get the other bounty rune. Still, that will actually be 3, though.
Yeah, 3 for VP. I mean, you've only got one person down here. Taiga's not going to get it. He's so busy pulling the lane back, trying to get as much XP as he possibly can down here. You would expect to get that top one, the top 2.
Flame Guard doing some okay damage here. Taiga's still going to be able to walk away.
Boxy can sit down here and take this XP if Taiga wants to fill up, but he doesn't look interested. he's chilling.
Denied the siege wagon. Okay, Boxy, you don't have the health to really support doing this. I'm curious.
He looks
now he's dead.
Okay, a little bit of a blunder.
Yeah. It's okay. He played so well in game 2. Maybe we can forgive a blunder or two.
Yeah, I mean, he's been owning so far, so.
Yeah.
But if you do another one, not forgiven.
Yeah, you only get 2 strikes here in Dota 2 casting.
Yes, that is indeed true.
No one. Seemingly this high ground ward is just really important because he just basically replaced it. I'm guessing because you operate on such low health all the time, it's important to see rotations.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He's thinking about how much HP do I need to have against this hero to survive the damage that he does. And if there's an extra hero, he needs to morph to like a higher HP threshold. So if you can't see the heroes, you have to always set at high HP, which means low damage, and you're doing less good things against the Lone Druid Bear.
That has long been the problem with some Morphling carries, right? Is that you want to play the lane to max efficiency, but you try and overplay it, and all of a sudden some unknown factor comes to play, a ganking hero or something like that, then all of a sudden you look like the fool. Doesn't look like a fool right now, though. He looks like the leader in the CS department. 51-11, though. 46-23. That's a lot of denies right there from the Leshrac, making sure that the Darkseer is deprived of experience, and he is deprived indeed.
One stark difference between this game and a lot of VP's games is the fact that we have ILTW on a more active hero, and that no one is on this hard farming hero mid. And I mean, they're obviously great players, and they can definitely handle these particular roles, but we'll see against Liquid if they're just as comfortable doing this sort of style.
Yeah, I feel like so we're going to watch Boxy trying to simulate away here. ILTW will catch up to him, and Zayats is there on the other side to lay out a Fissure. Didn't have the angle quite, and Zayats just doesn't throw it out at all. ILTW found his Flame Guard burned away. What level is that? Yeah, it's only level 2. I was going to say, there's no way he took enough damage to have a level 3 Flame Guard.
Yeah, no way. There's very little that Oh, okay.
Oh, they're going to go for him with the black hole with all these Eidolons. Taiga, did he make the correct call? He certainly did. A level 5 Ember Spirit has little chance to escape something like that.
This is 2 games in a row that he kills ILTW like this.
Yeah.
Gets the hole, and then just the pure damage is too much. I mean, this was a solo kill, though. There's 2 heroes down here, and he's still getting this kill on the enemy carry.
Yeah, that was, again, level 5 Ember Spirit. Taiga's going to be level 8 by the time Ember Spirit comes back to lane.
Dude, think about this. He literally solo offlaned. He did not have Boxy with him.
Yep.
And he just solo killed the enemy carry.
Taiga's beast.
Taiga's actually a god. He might legitimately be the reincarnation of Jesus.
Wow, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Well, I don't want to go with that. Yeah, I mean, so we'll be talking about snakes and things. We know how that
Slax's territory.
Look at these stacks. Juicy stacks. That is basically the most.
Yeah. A lot of golems, though. Mickey will be annoyed at that, I'm sure. But at least the hard camp can't spawn golems, can it?
Man, I wish I could hear the cha-ching noises. That's got to be so satisfying. One sec, let me close my eyes and imagine. Keep going.
Look at all the gold. Oh, so much gold.
No, do the cha-chings.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Yes.
Cha-ching.
Yes!
13, 11, 13, 12, 9.
Yes! Yes! So much gold!
That is what you sound like.
I would seriously scream that if I was in this game. And then half of my team would be like, what are you doing? This guy's getting kicked the moment.
Muted.
You can't mute your teammates. I'm talking competitive.
Oh, he would do that in a professional match.
Absolutely.
I forgot who I was talking to.
Yeah.
Big deal Jenkins here.
Exactly.
LTW didn't quite expect Koifa to be showing up, but Koifa's not even going to bother trying to go for a Ember Spirit who can jump away so quickly to have to bank on a really lucky root scenario. Instead, he just goes for solo, which is a much easier kill. Gets him eventually.
I like this from Koifa. It's not super beneficial to just sit there farming versus a Morphling. To even jungle on lone druid's not particularly fast with the nerfs to the root.
Yeah, but look what's happening in this mid lane. They know a support's going to be left here, and Zions is trying to like punish this.
Oh, McKay wants to get the stun from trees because then they can maybe kill him.
Yule Scepter.
He has to time this perfectly.
It has to be perfect, otherwise he gets the Strength Morph off and he lives. And that's what happened.
I'm pretty sure you can literally just click Strength Morph. Wow.
Oh, it'll probably always go off, even if it is frame perfect.
I think so. I know that's how it works with BKB and Nightmare Arrow.
Yeah, I'm sure that is probably the case.
Like it cues it up.
The other side of the trees, ILTW will not have the damage, but they will have the disable. Look how quickly Boxy reacted, though. Gets off the Aether Remnant, helps him survive a little bit longer. The Raindrop also assists in that, but eventually he will die.
As soon as he goes into the trees, it's like, not this again. But no, he's not.
Where's the roots? There it is. Disruption going down, trying to buy himself some time here. Fisher blocking the retreat here. Taiga tries to make his way around. Mickey to the rescue. Yule Scepter up. He's going to blow up this Earthshaker. Earthshaker tries to get the damage off beforehand, but he still gets stunned up. Hit by the Echo Slam, but Mickey keeps on trucking. He's going to try and run down this Morphling now. Can they actually bring down the Strength Morph? It's looking like they can. VIrtus.pro trying to get in there to stop it, but no. They are denied that opportunity, and now Solo. It started with running down Solo, and it seems like it'll end with trying to run him down, and instead turning around and going for the Tier 1 tower. Another lineup that Liquid has some very clear power to push towers.
A little bit aggressive here from Mickey, but they do have the Oracle save, so he should be fine.
Yeah. Man, I haven't actually seen that duo in a while, but man, I remember I loved having Oracle on Leshrac or vice versa.
Yeah, because the way you deal with Leshrac's insane damage is by just killing him when he runs in.
Yep.
Same with Death Prophet, same with Terrorblade. It's this Glass Cannon plus Oracle combo. It's very nice, especially when the Glass Cannon also happens to push towers. So if they don't fight you, you just take the towers in the exact same way.
And something that they will very likely try and employ to great effect as they saw in Game 2, right? Trying to take these early towers, these Tier 2s, see if they can take away that outpost. They didn't get it before 20 minutes last time, but I could very easily see a Lone Druid Leshrac pulling that off. You know?
I could see that happening. One fight in the enemy jungle, and you take the Tier 2 right now.
And what VIrtus.pro needs to be able to stop that is that first round of very core items, right? The Earthshaker Blink Dagger.
Yeah,
that's so important.
That's the biggest.
Levels on Ember Spirit, just levels, just in general. Really important on him. If he can actually get a stat item, looks like he's going to be going drums, so it's not like we're going to be seeing a damage item anytime soon on him.
Not huge, but something that gives him the ability to just take, to chase and take these really long fights.
Yeah, he's saying, like, I know that we have this Morphling late game. I don't need to try and build up damage so much. I just need to build to fight as soon as
Survive and
possible.
fight, yeah, survive the early game. But with that being said, I feel like this is a way better Enigma game than the last one. You don't have the Chronosphere to stop it, you know? It's really Fissure? It's actually Fissure.
Yeah.
Fissure, Vacuum, like they
Disruption,
all have
Vacuum.
pseudo-disables.
Yeah, they all have some sort of range form of disable, but
nothing through BKB.
nothing through BKB. So Taiga, he might make that a priority in this game.
He melts the Morphling too because it's percentage damage on the Midnight Pulse.
They see the bear here, but that's all they'll see. The big bear, the Papa Bear, he's already gone.
And he leaves the bear out like that, so if they come near, he can just fear them away.
Yeah, saw the odds at the start of this game 3, and people, they become believers in Liquid. The first time Liquid has been favored in this series.
I gotta say, man, like the last game, they looked like a totally different team. I think somebody said they like rediscovered.
Yeah, that was Shiver's opening. Shout out to that one. The analysts loved that one too. He said it was very apt, and I can't.
What?
Oh,
that was not the right morph. That was the wrong morph. Good sir.
The wrong button, sir.
It's like, bro, he's fine, right? He's got to be fine. He's gonna press that red. That was the green one.
Red for danger. You got to remember that. Red for danger.
Yep.
Danger, Will Robinson. ILTW is going to be able to jump away.
Red is dead.
He's not going to make the same button. Well, that doesn't quite work.
Green is dead. See, this is confusing. Though.
Yeah.
I understand why he did that.
That's why I did red with danger, you know, and green go. We're trying to do the stoplight metaphor.
Yeah, but
here,
I'm going to go ahead and kill myself with pressing green.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Sure.
There's different ways you can interpret this is the problem.
And red is dead because I won't die.
Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Oh, wow. You should definitely stay away from trying to make rhymes about snakes. It'd be very confusing.
This is, I don't want to go back to the snakes. There's been too many snakes today.
What is it? Red on yellow, you're a dead fellow? Something like that.
Something like
Or
that.
actually, you know what? That is also confusing because I think it's red on black. You're dead, Jack.
Well, you could rhyme. I mean, that's cheating. Using a name.
Well, that's the thing. The rhyme is supposed to go. It includes fellow and Jack, but like you can fit. I'm gonna look this up. Nick ain't gonna be able to find the Yule Scepter and get the kill onto an Earthshaker who is so close to his Blink Dagger. Jenkins, why'd they bring him? He just needed an easy camp worth of farm to have his Blink.
Red on black. That was whack. Don't die before your Blink Dagger, dog. Get that Blink, farm it up, and hit up that team fight. Press Echo Slam. Are you looking it up? Are you serious?
No, I'm not looking it up. That would be unprofessional and broadcast.
I don't believe
very
you.
focused on this Dota 2 game, Jenkins. Jesus.
I see 6K gold
Think
lead.
I'm an amateur?
You said you wanted to see a back and forth match. This is looking
This is not looking like
very
that.
Liquid favorite. Although with that being said, you know, it's still very interesting in the sense that it was a complete stomp for VP in the first game, so it makes it honestly more impressive for Liquid if they just continue to snowball this one, because they did a complete 180.
Yeah. VIrtus.pro still have plenty of options to be able to turn this game around. They do, after all, have the big late game hero in the Morphling. We have yet to see them fight with their team fight initiator in the Earthshaker, who should be getting his Blink Dagger now out of the jungle. You see him farming up a hard camp. So it's like we're judging this off of a VIrtus.pro that hasn't really been able to fight back yet. See what they can change here, but first it's going to be pick off here on a solo as Yule Scepter into a kill. Over and over again, this is going to be the play.
Literally everything in this game is now falling onto the shoulders of this Earthshaker. He has got to hit a great Echo Slam on the Oracle +1. Honestly, one of the nice things about having Earthshaker versus Oracle is that you don't even need to hit him with the Echo Slam. As long as you have Fissure, you can Echo 2 and then Fissure the backlines, and you can get the Oracle and then kill the 2 before Oracle can get the save off.
Red touching black, safe for Jack. Red touching yellow, kill a fellow. Just in case you find a red and yellow. Oh, there's the Echo Slam initiation dodge on the 2, but the Oracle save. It bails out Mickey, and that means they still got all the damage in the tank here to pump out as ILTW tries to get the... Oh, he gets away! The Sleight of Fist into the Remnant, jump out, still gets hit by the Aether Remnant, but he almost died back there. ILTW with the quick fingers.
That would have been the game. Like, if he dies back there, I don't know how they recover. And man, that Oracle save too, not only did he get the ult off, he was able to put the Fate's Edict as well, preventing the Morphling Ethereal Blade damage completely. Like, he nullified this Morphling's entire item. All of the damage is on this Morphling. Like, he's gotta hit somebody with this if they want to kill them. So, Fate's Edict, man, if you can get that on somebody and they definitely...
Oh, Percy just blow him up.
Yeah, there it is.
Oracle wasn't close enough or fast enough to get off the Fate's Edict. Deny that. Boxy, jump away there from the Enigma, but it looks like he turns into a Void Spirit to be able to get the Aether Remnant onto Boxy, so he can't re-Astral Step. The Bear's back out, though. It's caught the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit needs some help here.
He's got no
rooted again. He's going to be in trouble. He's disarmed right now. Finally, Hero gets a little bit close, but still not another route.
And Mech from the Darks here really helps out there. And the fact that he was able to Sleight of Fist to that camp.
We're going to watch that one again. The Echo Slam comes in off of the vacuum. It looks very beautiful, and it kills the Void Spirit.
Yeah, look
then
at that
there's the save from Mickey, though.
Beautiful, man. He saves 2 people from that Echo.
But then this black hole, man, it was straight up dieback that would have allowed Liquid to finish off Roshan, very likely.
Yeah. If ILTW doesn't clutch that, he loses the game. Like, he needed to clutch that. So good on him for buying back there and keeping himself in the game.
Yeah, no, I don't want to put too much blame, but I'm sure Tyga's kicking himself going like, did I really need to Midnight Pulse?
True. Yeah, it's a tough hero because he can make that play.
Yeah.
It's a tough hero to catch.
Exactly.
But if you do catch him, he's dead 100% of the time. There are no items.
Oh, once again, Resolution sneaks away the bounty rune just before he's disabled.
Midas on Enigma. I think this is great. Midas, whenever it's popular, is always Enigma's like second or first choice. Blink Dagger because there's not much to cancel the hole when these early team fights, and then Midas because this hero functions so well with levels, with the BKB, with an Octarine core, with that late game farm. Like, he is your carry, no matter what.
So with that in mind, like, I said big late game hero in the Morphling, but I didn't say they had a better late game because I wanted to get that answer from you, Jenkins. Do you think that Morphling can outcarry this? Like, because Liquid, they all scaled pretty well into the late game.
No.
They may not be a hard carry like Morphling, but...
Hard no. I think VP cannot beat Liquid in the late game unless they do some crazy snowballing stuff in the fights. Like, I really like how ILTW, despite buying back in that mid engagement that we saw, he goes super far forward. He still is playing extremely aggressive. So with that, if we were looking at VP and they're playing super scared, I'd say, okay, Liquid, 100%, they've got this. But VP, they're still playing really aggressive despite losing some fights, despite being at a gold disadvantage. They're still being aggressive. And I think that's exactly what they need to do. They need to get the pickoffs if they want to win this game.
Right, because they don't have the answer to the BKB black hole.
No,
that's the big late game threat that they're going to have to worry about. So they're going to have to be aggressive. And VIrtus.pro, you're asking any team to do that against a tier 1 team. VIrtus.pro has proven time and time again they can pull that off.
Yeah, for sure. I would be concerned if they weren't being aggressive and still playing like they have an advantage. Like, it's really good to see that they're doing this. They know what the stakes are in this game. They know that they have to do this.
So what is the next timing, do you think, for VIrtus.pro? Because, like, if we're saying, okay, there's this late game threat looming from Team Liquid, but we also have this Morphling who needs, you know, time to just be what Morphling is.
I honestly think you just go with every Echo Slam. That's all you need to do. Just go Echo Slam and try to get a pick off with it.
Okay.
Start with the pick off.
A fight every 2 minutes. I can be down with that. A potential dieback online here, but Solo gets the disruption. The black hole. It catches the 2 with the Ember Spirit on the side. Make it a 3. A trio of heroes trapped in the darkness in VIrtus.pro. They have lost 4, and they're gonna lose this Roshan unless no one can do something amazing here, which I don't even know if he's willing to try.
It's a throw if he goes for this.
Yeah.
It's a huge throw. And that's the Bloodstone too for Mickey. So he's got in Aegis, he's got an 18 charge Bloodstone. And by God, by the next time they fight, he might have a BKB. he is, you know, we talked about the Enigma. Like, Mickey's going to be a real problem, too, in this game.
Yeah, and it all starts with this Ember Spirit pickoff, but Science on the front lines.
And Darkseer as well.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two heroes that you need to catch, right?
Uh-huh. And Taiga was like, okay.
I mean, I guess the problem is VP doesn't really have any frontliners.
Yeah. Like, I think in that situation, Darkseer has to be the frontliner because he has to go for wall vacuum.
But Earthshaker and
Science
Ember
cannot get caught in that situation. He is both the Fisher and is able to stop the black hole, and he's the big follow-up. Like, he can, before even the black hole happened, Koipa pinged him with the bear. So he already disabled the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that is exactly what you'd like to see if you have an Enigma on your team. The disruption honestly set up for the Ember to be caught.
Oh, nice kill. Nice kill. It's not like incredibly impactful, but at least you know he doesn't have Aegis to work with. He didn't have to blow the Echo Slam for that, but maybe they can still take some team fights without it. We'll have to see.
Unfortunately, Insania was not quite in position, I believe, to get the Oracle ulti off. Just a little bit out of range. I think he probably would have liked to save the Aegis, because Oracle ulti level 2, it's really not that long of a cooldown. Maybe it's level 1. I didn't see what level he was. Still, it's not a huge cooldown. Probability, yeah, I'd say that's about. I don't know. I feel like it's probably higher than that, honestly. This Enigma, like, I just don't see what the solution is. Look at the VP cores. Which one of these heroes can ever survive a black hole with any amount of items that they can get?
Right.
None of them can. If there was a Wraith King in the game, it would be different. We don't care about black hole.
Sure.
He needs a refresher. Boxy.
They're going to run straight into him. Ash will step away to simulate. Oh, he's hiding in the trees, but they know he's there. They pull him back in with a vacuum. They hit him with the chain stun. And is he still going to get out? He didn't actually die to all that burst damage. Zayats, they see the dissimulate. They know where he landed. They landed over here. They're going to throw the wall directly on him. And he does not have a dissimulate. He does not have Astral Step for 5 seconds.
They don't actually have vision of him in there.
And so he gets the Astral Step off. How did they lose the vision? I thought they had his illusion in there.
I think the illusions that spawned knocked him into a little tree line.
Yeah. He got knocked over to the side. Yeah, you're right.
How does this keep happening with Boxy?
I don't know, man.
He just survives these crazy ganks in the trees.
Hell, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that is...
Doomsday has a name, and it's Taiga. He's coming with the BKB. Mickey has his as well. VIrtus.pro. We're going to need some fancy footwork and even better team fighting to be able to stop this one. But starting off with a pickoff on an Ember Spear, that's certainly not what VIrtus.pro wants. Solo will exchange his life for ILTWs.
You sound like.
I like that Taiga doesn't even commit the black hole there for the Ember, even though it would have been a very easy black hole setup with the Solo disrupting once again, because he knows that he can just hit a 3-man black hole in the fight. There's not much that they can do about it with their heroes. When he has the BKB, it's free, so he's not going to use it because he knows that as long as he has the black hole up, VP can't fight.
Now it's time to chomp on some towers. Tier 2's dead. There is still this Earthshaker on the sideline, so he's not here, and then Liquid just jump right in. Jeez. Pull back in, trying to catch him with a Fisher. Didn't actually land, and the Astral steps back down to the low ground. Meanwhile, Mickey, self-Yule Scepter on accident, I assume.
You have to fight against these heroes, though. You have a Lone Druid into Lashrak.
No one gets hit by the stun. Zayat's going to have to be very patient. You cannot just jump on the first hero you see. Bloodstone, so they will keep the Oracle ultimate intact for now. They don't want to have to blow it on just a bit of harassment, something that VIrtus.pro, they haven't really truly committed just yet.
Yeah, he can always just heal him up. Fate's Edict, pop a couple of heals, not going to take any damage. He'll come back in, full HP.
Coming back out, ILTW investigates inside of the trees. They're still around here. They know it too because of the scan. Now they backed away.
And Liquid playing really disciplined here.
See the spread of VIrtus.pro heroes. They've got to be very wary of that black hole that has lost them some team fights.
Yeah, Taiga, he's doing a great job. Insania as well, playing the back line. They're not playing close to the front at all. Mickey is just running in like a madman, and it is working wonders for their formation.
boots of travel being built by Mickey, so he's going to try and deal with what is probably the inevitable split push of Virtus.pro at this point.
It has to come in now. That's the only way that they stay in the game and delay to take a potential good team fight.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably strong enough to sit in these side lanes between Bloodstone and BKB. They're going to need to expend everything on him to kill him, so it feels like the right time to buy those travels.
Tier 3 items are available, so we're going to have to pick up some of those. Regen for ILTW. See if he's able to make much use of it, though, because most of the time he's just been getting killed 100-0 here. They're going to try and catch him with this Aether Remnant setup, and they do get him. He had a Spirit out, but he didn't get the chance to jump to it.
Another one of those things that you can actually use during the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, the purgeability of the Oracle.
Yeah. We saw that with Sven Stun earlier this week. It's convenient for setting up on these Ember Spirit heroes where I think it's borderline impossible to hit the...
That's so rough. He's dead for 20 seconds, but they just got the level 15 talent on the Darkseer. That extra health could be crucial. They're going to commit it. The BKB Black Hole initiation goes off on the Earthshake, or the Morphling, but they save him with the disruption. No one's going to be okay here as he backs up, morphed up to strength. He does have to head back to the fountain, but Liquid, they do not. They've only got a few seconds to work with. They say that's not enough to go for the melee barracks. So let's back it up, reset.
I think after that fight, if you're Liquid, you probably think, like, okay, the way we need to play this is somebody goes in first and starts the fight, and then Taiga counter initiates, because if they're just set up on VP, Solo can do that every single time, right? But the problem is when he's forced to use that first, because there's some other sort of initiation. And, you know, I'm interested, and I understand why they tried it, because it's like, all right, let's just use the hole in the Morphling. He's the only potential problem in this game. See what happens. But clearly that's not going to work. This is going to be a very repeatable thing that we just saw. I think Solo's going to be in position.
Especially in team fights that are in Virtus.pro space, right? It's very easy for Solo to have the positioning in that kind of fight. Maybe a fight that's outside of it, it'll be a little bit harder. But while the Black Hole's on cooldown, they're going to pump out, see if they can go for a kill here. Echo Slam, but the Bloodstone's already been committed, and there's the Oracle save. A nice fissure into the backline. Some of these heroes do get stunned up. Mickey trying to pump out some damage, take a lot from this Morphling. He pops a Manta as he gets silenced. Silenced up again by this Void Sphere. Pulled back in by the Aether Remnant. Lead a little bit more, but it wait for him. Down to the low ground. He's able to get out. ILTW is now tearing it up as he takes out 2 cores, looks for this support in Insania. He's certainly going to go down, and that's why the Ember Sphere moves forward. He says, you guys clean up that guy. I'm going for the big boy. I'm going for Koifa. I'm going to try and catch him inside of his base. Koifa does not get caught, however, and Insania does actually manage to get out.
Great job by VP taking advantage of that missed hole. They're like, okay, if there's any opportunity for us to fight, it's this one. And I like the choice to just straight up use the Echo Slam on the Leshrac there and just try to burst him down, force out that Oracle ult. And with the physical right-click damage that the Morphling does now, you can actually kill him if you just beat the crap out of him during the ult, as long as the Oracle is zoned and not able to get heals.
Uh-oh. Zayats stuck around a little bit too much. He's like, they're all scared. They're all hiding in their base. Not Boxy. This man's fearless.
Yeah, that's a rough death right there, because I think VP, that's something they could have potentially snowballed and just kept Liquid bleeding, but now they're all alive and 30 seconds on the Earthshaker, and Roshan is up.
That's a very important pickup. The Scotty, huge amount of stats for the Morphling. Is slow, super effective. I'm going to keep harping on it, though. That change to the Scotty. The heal prevention that's going to be happening against an Oracle, against a Lone Druid.
And great against ranged heroes, too.
Yeah, great against ranged heroes. Good against the Bloodstone.
Mickey, Koifa, like these heroes have a lot of problems with Scotty.
Liquid, though, they have the Black Hole back up, so they're just going to man mode into the Roshan pit. Will this be a good idea? They find the initiation. Yule Scepter on the Ember Spirit. Look at Boxy. He's going straight to the back line. He says, no, you're not going to save him. I'm going to make sure we catch you, Solo, and catch them they do. But the Ember Spirit does manage to slide away. Boxy almost getting caught by the Aether Remnant as no one turns into a Void Spirit here. They're chained up. They're trapped a little bit. This fissure, the pullback of the vacuum onto the wall, but it doesn't matter. Mickey pops the BKB, and the Bear managed to get the lockdown onto the Darkseer. Still, though, we want to play this cautiously. They've expended some of their things. They're not going to try and chase down the rest of these heroes from Virtus.pro. They have to be careful of that wall. They have to be careful of this Echo Slam.
Still, Darkseer's dead for 33 seconds, so yeah, he buys a smoke on Insania. I think this is a good time to go for a kill, but man, that's a convenient double damage room for ILTW.
What an equalizer this could be.
This is definitely an equalizer. I think if he can, you know, catch Insania with this off guard, he can possibly like 2-hit him. You know,
Yeah.
you can jump the backlines with this really easily. To be super careful if you're Enigma or Oracle against a DD Ember.
Yeah, it's funny how both teams have the same problem they have to deal with. Somebody's got to get to the back line and deal with this Oracle or this Shadow Demon who have the same mechanism. Boxy's going in there with his Aghanim Scepter and using that AoE disable to stop the disruption, and it's going to be up to ILTW to kill, just straight up go in and kill, slaughter him, take down Insania before he can get off his ultimate, or maybe force it on himself. I feel like a harder job for ILTW. Let's see if he can pull it off here. Once again, the Yule Scepter into the Ether, and there's going to be the Fisher trying to delay this damage. He's veered up as well. Stunned, disruption in. Can he get out? Taiga's going to throw in the Black Hole to ensure the Ember Spirit kill, but that's a BKB Black Hole, and he's going to buy back. ILTW, he springs his trap card. He says, I'm coming back, baby, and look at it. There it goes. The vacuum, the Echo Slam, and Liquid hit the dirt. Boxy's the only one who's gonna get away, and ILTW says, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna hunt you down. He doesn't have the disable, but it doesn't matter. He didn't even pop his double damage in that team fight. He held onto it. Liquid, they all end on that bait set up by the Ember Spirit, and VIrtus.pro will take the Roshan.
What a vacuum Echo Slam, man. That was so patient. That is what they've been waiting for this entire time. As we can see here, there's the jump on the Ember Spirit, but I mean, he was just the bait, really. Like every single time he's running it, I love that he's playing this aggressive. And then the vacuum comes in.
And this is where Liquid sees, oh no, we're gonna get caught. They try and save Taiga, and then Resolution comes in. A 4-man vacuum into an Echo.